Let's get it. All right.
Welcome to technical difficulty.
All right. We're opening a new browser. Yeah, this should be good now. We should be fucking golden. Because this is... Yeah, I'm not going to bother reposting.
Oh, I can hear myself. Yeah, we're good. I can hear myself.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I see you in the wavelengths this time, so yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't have my camera on. Hold on. You gotta see my fucking ugly mug.
Yeah, people have to let us know if we're super balanced or not, but I think we are better. Hashtag professional.
Mm-hmm. Real professional. Praise the sun, bitches!
Good stuff. All right. Hello, friends, fellow gamers. I am that Zero, and we are back after a whole bunch of technical difficulties for the third fucking time of trying to get this shit working. We'll go back and delete those other ones. But I am that Zero. This is Caparay's Last Cloudia Podcast, episode 14, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, DK. What's up, man?
Hi. What's up, man? I'm so glad we got this working, man. For the 5 people that are in here, let's go.
Yeah, all you guys that stuck around through all that bullshit. All right, yeah, we doing
Thank
it.
you.
Unfortunately, Rip, we don't have Jawline. He had some urgent emergency that came up. We hope everything is all right. I don't know what exactly the situation is, but we will miss you, fam, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon. We'll hit you up in Discord. But we got lots of stuff in the game. I mean, a fair amount. We've got a new event, a little one to go with our new unit. We got some quality of life updates, which is really nice, and we got our final E5 updates to all the DOH and general pool / monster units. So we'll get to go through all that fun stuff. Where would you like to start, DK?
I would like to start where our cameras are on.
Start where our cameras are on? An awfully hard ass.
It's just this black void with Xmas Lilibet just chilling.
There we go. There we go. All right, cool.
Oh, there we go.
We good. Things are working. We know what we're doing.
Yes.
We have 13. We have Sky. We've got the
Those
real
are
homies in chat. What's up? Good. Thanks for
technical
sticking
moderators.
around and coming back. Cool. All right. So now that we've got a couple of the technical difficulties out of the way, what
I'm so glad Jawline wasn't here for that, because if he was, we would never heard the end of it, honestly.
All right, so what's the plan? Where do you want to start? You want to start with the spiciest thing? Yeah.
Well, actually, should we get the bad out of the way? I think we should.
The bad?
Let's talk about the E5s, man.
Talk about the E5s? Okay, sure.
We'll leave because she's good, and the arc is decent. So what happened with this is good. Let's get the bad out of the way, though.
Okay, sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up, and then I will share this to screen. Let's see.
Because I know a lot of us were kind of like, as soon as we saw these updates, we were like, because let's be real. Who was excited for Rabala? I was super excited for Rabala because I felt like she had like so much potential to be like so much more in the future. I don't have
at this point.
Yeah.
Anybody that I really want something for,
it never
generally
happens.
Doesn't get a whole lot, and that's just usually how it goes.
I know there was a lot of talk with Kyle too, that everybody was really excited for Kyle's E5 because they thought that he was just going to be this, he was going to get become an even better unit, super meta and stuff like that. But wow, we were all definitely really, really wrong on that.
Yeah,
I felt like Mr. Robot got the best out of everything.
I'm not finding at all. Is it December 16th? Is it the maintenance notice? Is that where the stuff is?
Yeah, it'd be December. Notices? Yeah, because click on that and yes.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. Beautiful.
This is a comedy stream. Yes, it is. Sky, of course it is.
It's a comedy stream that doesn't make you laugh, just makes you cry.
Yeah, we all have bad jokes.
All right.
We were gone a whole week, man. So it's good to be back. Honestly, I know because let's be real. Last week was dead, man. Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
We just had time trials, and everybody's trying to figure that out.
Was pretty boring. I will not argue.
Oh, so we got Holy Knight Rudo. We got Lord Knight Kyle, Blasphemy, Advocate of God Baron for Zero, and Baron for DK. And Avocado God, Rabala, and DXR. Yay.
Sound like you said Avocado God. I'm happy for being the Avocado God. Oh, man. All right. So let's take a look at what we got here. So Saintly Theria, I didn't have her, but I know many other people did, and I think they were hoping that she'd get something decent. Let's go ahead and just read through them. Do you want to take this?
You know what? Do you have her? I don't know anything about her because I out of 2.5 years of, well, yeah, right, 2.5 years, I've never even gotten close to getting her.
Okay. I don't know if I ever even necessarily went for her much, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's a mage. She is mostly light. Well, she is all light now. She used to have like one skill that was ice, I believe, and then she had a paid that would do the basically the BB Shin or the Dine thing, or some of those dual elements, where basically her paid made it so that her magic would convert to dark if they were weak to it. But since her whole kit was light, converting it over to dark with her paid just made all her damage awful. At least that's what I'm told.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. All right, so she got Starburst. So basically best light spell for just like just dropping a bomb on things, which is great. Auto recast, which is just instantly pure value. Absolutely love it on every caster possible. Then light crit raise, meh. Okay. So trait 1, this is one of the biggest things. She had her light damage. This used to just be magic, I believe, and now it's all damage. So plus 60% and plus 12k cap to literally all light damage. So that includes if you're using something like the Eldravina arc. So I know that works really well for that. I believe I saw Tweaks go in and use that. Normally it's capped at 10k. This makes it 22k, and it's 100 hits at instant with time stop. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Whoa.
And this also helps her skills to do more damage. I mean, she's an old unit, so like hit counts and stuff, pretty blah. But in general, pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow.
Battle start, randomly apply high regen, high vitality, high protection, high magic barrier. All this stuff was the same, but and which I think that trait 2 really sucks. It wouldn't be broken if she just got all those for free at battle start. I don't know why they wouldn't just do that, but whatever. And then she got some curse, illness, and stun resist, which great, cool. I like that. Sounds good. And then she got a laundry list of random stuff. So light magic boost from trait 1 was changed to all light attack, as we talked about, so that's good. Damage cap for level 1 to 2. Basically everything was evened out, so that it's not all just back-ended on her E5. As you progress through the character, she gets better than what she did before. Amount of SET restored by the special was boosted. Okay, cool. Attribute of skill 2 has been changed from ice to light. Yep, so she's pure light now, which is neat and great. Attribute resistances were all adjusted to be better in general. I'm not going to go through all that stuff. But her basic ailments, as well as her resistances and stuff, all that stuff was buffed to be better than it was previously. So, yeah. I mean, I would not go roll for her at all, but like if you had her and you want to do something fun, I'd say her only niche that's probably worthwhile is the fact that she can make Eldravina the best it can be. Beyond that, seems like she can really hit her numbers pretty well. Like plus 60% is nothing to slouch at, especially because whenever these traits are usually outside of the standard damage calculation. So like usually this stuff just magnifies on top of everything you stick into their kit. Like the 50% out of Roland makes it really easy for him to cap. And it's going to be the same thing for her. But yeah, she's just still an old unit. So even with all these buffs, which are really good, like this probably made her like 20 times better. But that's still pretty bad compared to current units. That's the problem. Like she probably went from a 2 to like a 6 or a 7, I would guess.
That's not too bad.
You know, I like that. That's me kind of talking on my ass because I don't really have her, but in my mind, that's what it feels like. You know. So yeah. Now we're on to the people who already were like this year and like pretty good.
So, like, this is your guy, though. Like, you did a video on this, like, a really long video.
I did. Back when I tried doing unit video stuff, you know? And, you know, he was a very fun unit to play with, even though I traditionally just don't like tanks, bruisers, warriors. Like, in an RPG, they're, like, the most basic bitch thing, and I hate it. But, like, I don't know, his aesthetic was pretty cool, and he had this, like, neat mechanic where you could, like, gain stacks, and yeah, ended up having some cool ways to exploit it, and they didn't really do much to make it much better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he went from 5 to 6% damage, and from I think 1,000 to 1,500 per stack. So now he can get up to a 15,000 damage cap if you can exploit getting all these stacks, which don't last through waves. You just have to get them all in that given wave, which is just super duper gimmicky. And unless you're in a long fight or intentionally trying to make that happen, it's just not good enough. Especially considering there's units we have now that for free have the same damage cap.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks, man. And he's not even a year old yet, and that's just kind of crazy to me.
My hope for this guy was that, like, he's a bruiser, right? So I was hoping that they would push him to try to make his single wield stuff, because like he felt like the first experiment with single wield and they were too tame with it. Like he got stuff like instant strike, which was super cool, and that's one of the reasons he's so good in arena. And like some crit stuff so that you could kind of get over, if you had to run a single element and just wanted to be able to tank face actually wearing armor and stuff, you could do that, but he didn't have anything specifically for single wield to push him over. I was hoping they would take his base damage and give him more single wield stuff to get him really close, or even on par to like Lance Veil's base damage. So like if we took everything else away from Lance, like he does, like without the cool, all the basic situational damage buffs that he gets, like the counter strike damage and I don't even remember off the top of my head. But all the different sorts of stuff he had, like if we could get Kyle at least hitting like 40 or 50k, just chillin', and then just has instant strike, that'd be nice, because then, Lance gets to stand out because he has super armor and some more conditional damage. Kyle's a little bit more supporty and stuff, but instead they're like, well, Kyle seems fine. We'll just give him like a 1% increase across the board and we'll call it good. Okay.
Jeez.
Sad.
What?
Are you alright?
No, I'm getting ready for Rudo. I'm reading Rudo's original because I never E5'd Rudo, so I'm reading his stuff, and
okay.
It seems kind of odd.
Yeah. I don't have him either, but
I do have him, so I was gonna go ahead and do his. Once you finish with Kyle, are you finished with Kyle? Because I know there.
Yeah, I'm finished with Kyle. I definitely am done with Kyle.
Forever.
No. I mean,
he's so good.
Okay, so here's the thing. What he really got out of an E5, he got 70 more defense. He got like either 100, or he got either 1k or 1.5k HP, and then he got 10 more SC. That's really what matters here. These buffs, these don't matter at all. They don't matter. But like the defensive stat increases, the extra health, the extra SC, like that's going to make him good in arena, and that's the place he shines usually, in my opinion. So like, yeah. So Rudo, let's see here. So partial resistance from interruption. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So list of skills, none. That sucked. I really don't know what much more he needed, really, because I mean he's just a pure defensive unit. So he's not capping with any kind of any skills at all. Trying to cap with them is incredibly hard. So it's just like, why?
Yep.
But I was looking at so he did get nothing changed in his trait 1, but 5%. I think it is 5%. Yeah, it's only 5%. For that max. Now it was 35. Now it's 40. But this one right here, trait 2, when taking damage from enemy attacks that target all damage to unit plus 80%, on his original board it says 100. So that's why I was kind of like quiet there for a second. I was like, is it? Yeah,
so that's good. So that means that basically he makes it so that when everybody's getting hit, they take less damage, and it just it basically made him take double damage. Now he only takes 80% more damage instead of 100%. So instead of taking double damage,
so it's minus 20%. That plus got kind of okay. That plus got me like, wait, what?
Yeah, at least that's what I assume. Like I said, I don't have him, but that makes the most sense to me. So like that's a pretty big boon to just like
definitely 20%. And he does really good at surviving too. I mean, he's mostly an arena unit, unless you want to like just cheese off. I think I used him in Mother, and he to draw off all the.
I wish I had him for
ads. Yeah, I used him originally to drop all the ads, so that I could get a Merity off, but and then. So I mean, he's good at what he does basically, and he's definitely the one of the best defensive units in the game. I still, like I said, I use him daily, but like not much. And then he did get when units capacitated defensive mind plus 60%, which original was 50%, so they got a 10% increase. And then physical flinch null buff to all allies. So I mean, he's still good. I mean, did he need extra skills? Maybe like 1 or 2, but I mean, honestly, I'll take the 20% and the
Yeah.
10%, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the only units that got skills are ones that weren't at 108. So all the newer units
Yeah.
this year haven't gotten any skill adds. So that's kind of been the trend. So, like, I didn't expect any of
Right.
these units to get new skills anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how it is. All right, moving on. Baran, I expected him to get shafted pretty hard, and he did. So,
He did. He did.
He's a lot like Kyle in the sense that, like, they just made him slightly better. They gave him an extra 1k cap. They made him absorb slightly more HP. And, you know, his bigger thing is that he got some better stats and, more importantly, 10 SC. That's why you E5 him for 10 extra
That's why
SC.
you E5. Yeah. If anything, that is why you E5. You do that 10 extra SC. So,
and,
yeah.
you know, scaling on abilities, if you wanted to, like, build him a little bit bruisery, or, you know, you might not need an extra damage multiplier. I know I've had issues sometimes getting his S1 to cap as easily as his other skills. So, like, you know, buffing that up maybe is a little bit better. But, yeah, it's just kind of whatever. 13.
Yeah, I wish he got more to his regular attack. That'd be kind of cool. What was that?
Yeah.
Let me see, percentage.
13. You said E5 Kyle is busted now. I don't know if you're being serious or not. If you are,
He's trolling. He's
if
trolling.
you are, I never know, because, like, 13 sometimes cannot be dumb, and I just can never pick out the 2% of the time that happens. So, you know,
It's like 95% dumb.
you're right. I was being a little too negative there. He's at least 5% on point sometimes. All right, let's see. So Rabla, I would say she got arguably the best buff. I kind of hoped that there would be more, but still. So she's getting more earth damage and more damage cap based on the number of sorcerers. Now, this looks good at base. However, you need 5, and it doesn't include her. So more realistically, you're going to have 3 per. So what really you're going to get is, this is now 2,000. So, okay, sorry, I apologize. This is the base. So she just gets earth damage increase, damage cap up. This is great. But then she also gets increased cap and extra damage based on the number of sorcerers, and this doesn't really matter much. So instead of 10,000, this is actually more like 6,000 and 30%, which isn't much better than we had before. I mean, it's 1,000 more per stack, which is something. It's better than the other units, but, you know. And then she also gets to absorb more and do some more damage with her Exsanguinate.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, she did get one of the best buffs. Yeah. Because I haven't E5'd her, so I have all her base stats still here. And, yeah, no, dude, she did. Dang.
So before...
I just got her.
Yeah, so basically before the buffs, I believe this was 5,000.
Yes.
And I believe this was 1,000 per, which meant if you put, you know, Sorcerer Mimicry on your other 3 units, well, you'd have to have, you know, your friend unit also be a thing. But assuming you intentionally went out of your way to go do that, because you can control that, whereas you can't control enemies, you were looking at, let's see, it was 3,000. It was basically 1,800. Or 18,000 total cap. So you got 5,000 plus an extra 3,000. 1,000 for each. Okay? So now it's 7,000 plus 2,000, so 6. So now plus 13. So she went from 18,000 to 23,000 cap. So, like, definitely way better than everybody else.
Yeah,
Won't argue with
yeah.
that. Yeah, her main problem is, like, it's still not really better than Eliza or Maja or... I mean,
or even Angela.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that cap with Sandworm makes her still very good. Like, she's just, if you have Rabla and you don't have another mage and you run Sandworm on her, she's gonna do some really, really good damage still. You're just not gonna be out damaging a Maja. That's the thing. So,
dude, no one's gonna be out damaging much. I felt so like defeated whenever I didn't have him in trials. I don't know, but I just saw everybody doing like 60k, 70k, and I'm over here like struggling my ass off to hit like 30.
yeah.
I was like, man, this is hard.
Any other comments on Rabla? You said you just got her?
No, I just got her like last month. Yeah, so I got her on the 1.5. I think. Yeah. I got her on the 1.5 on the
Very fun.
UR banner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She was my additional unit, and so I've been I actually been having a lot of fun with her. So I was actually really excited whenever they announced that she was gonna get her E5, and I was hoping that it was gonna be good. And from what it was, I wasn't a big fan of her, pre E5, or was it before her E5, and so the fact that she got even this little bit, I feel like that's really good.
Yeah. All right, so Spider Tank. I don't think any of us expected much because he's already good.
Really good,
The problem is he's good because of, like, the nature of his auto attacks. His kit was pretty bad and didn't really help him for the things we were doing for him.
Yeah.
I don't think these changes really change much. Getting Decoy, great. I think that's a good update. That's free. Everybody wants Decoy. It's awesome. Defense up, cool, sounds good. Guard charge, I've never run guard stuff on him. I know he has a little bit by default, but sounds kind of blah. Power circulation, machine boost, machine high boost, regular attack boost. I don't know what anti-physical armor is. I assume that it's kind of like piercing, maybe, but I'd have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head. But like, this is all damage boosts, which is fine, but I don't think his damage was really that great. His main purpose, at least to my knowledge, was you could make him into a breaker, which this stuff doesn't affect, or you can make him an ailment support, where he's not really doing damage, he's just applying ailments to make everything be paralyzed or cursed or blind or whatever, basically for infinity, or like insta-killing things with like Death God and the pieces of gear that use that. So like those were the main things that I knew of for him. Are you aware of any other roles for DXR?
I actually use them mostly for stunning.
So ailment stuff.
Yeah. That's
So,
the one reason why I didn't really use them for Death God builds or anything like that. But for whenever I fought, the Dark Palace, it was one of my primary guys that helped me survive.
Yeah.
With this S4.
So what I'm seeing here is like, if he gets anything out of this, like from this damage stuff, it would just be like, maybe he can do okay with Goddess Kiss now. Whereas like, he kind of didn't do awesome before. At least I didn't have him doing that good. Maybe I didn't focus on it enough, but yeah, it's fine.
He got a little survivability. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I think, is stuff that you probably would have put on him anyway, or is just generically helpful, like increasing defense. It's fine.
He has a purpose, and he still fulfills that purpose.
Exactly.
So, if anything, it's just extra.
Yeah, he's kind of like Gobble in that way. Like, he sort of did what he did. So any free stuff you get that you wanted anyway is just money. So yeah, it's our great unit. We're just gonna run down this list of stuff. So new Godforge boss score. We can go ahead and look at some of those things in game. Once we get into here, have you run this boss?
Oh my god, yes! I love this boss. This is by far one of my favorites, out of the game.
Okay,
Design.
What do you like about it?
One, there is I like the fact that I like that there's a chance that you can either get hit or not get hit. So I do like that. So you have to work with your team to figure out, the best way to survive. The design of the boss is really, really good. Just damn, holy shit, they went all out. They went all out. Everything is so unique about it. She has two different attacks that can really hurt you too. At least that's from what I saw. But I don't know. It kind of just changes. I don't know. It kind of changes how you work with your team on how to defeat her. Because me and Jawline were actually running it today, and my prior team that I was running, we were trying to we were testing survivability, and it took us a little bit, but just all you have to do is bring in a bunch of logs and you just melt her. So I honestly breaking her is going to be the best way to beat this one. Yeah. The fast break in between before he launches, bros. These are funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just really fun. I don't know. I'm having an absolute blast playing this. I actually played the Godforge just for fun because of it's fun. I love it.
Nice.
It was a good move on their part.
Well, and hey, we got some new toys to play with anyway, so
it's
good to enjoy farming the boss. So
yes, absolutely.
I actually had an interesting thing. I was talking with somebody on Discord that brought this up to my attention. Cerulean, I believe he's always hanging out in Buddha's chat, and him and some other people were reporting like, oh, hey, certain units seem to be damage locked. It almost seems like maybe there's like a 90% damage mitigation, and nobody could figure out what exactly the thing is. Like, oh, is it that humans can do damage? Well, no, because Luke can do just fine, but then somebody else's Luke wasn't able to do proper damage.
I saw it happen too.
And so I was testing units too, and I tested like DeGrogue, Rem, Baran, a number of different people. All of them were totally fine. The only person that could not do proper damage was Swimsuit Alice. She was completely botched by it. 2B doesn't work either?
2B didn't. Me and Sky, he's in chat right now. Sky was playing with us, and I noticed that his 2B was only doing like 200 damage at one point, because it was my first time running it, or like my second time running it, and we all died because I was trying to do Angela, and that will never happen again because she's too squishy. But yeah, he ended up carrying the team and beating it. But I did notice that he was only doing like 200 to 300 damage to the fight.
Interesting.
And I could not figure out. I was like, wait, is there a certain segment of the fight where it's like, does it like the attribute like change from like magic to physical damage, or like what? But nothing was showing up on the boss, so I was really confused.
Yeah, and as far as I could tell, magic is totally botched. You can't do magic. It has to be physical. At least I didn't see anybody able to do physical magic damage.
I was able to do magic. I was not capping. I was doing what Angela can cap. Mine can cap around 33k, and she was only getting 26 to 24.
Oh, that's still pretty good though. That doesn't
even on gold.
That just sounds like high mine. Not that you are getting hit by this damage mitigation, debuff thing. So anyway, I was talking with Cerulean back and forth, and we were kind of doing some figure testing to just collect data on like what's the commonality behind the units that are like having issues. Because if we were looking, it's like some Lugs do not work, and then other Lugs have zero issue, which implies to me like either it's a build issue or it's just a rampant bug that seems to happen way more often than other bugs. Because like it was a pretty consistent thing that we were having people that were only doing like 100 damage or like double digit damage. Like my Alice's ult was doing ticks of 40.
Oh shit! Oh wow! No, I didn't. I never seen that one. Dang.
And I was in with him. When I ran my DeGrogue, she was easy capping, no problem. But then his Lug couldn't break 1,000 damage.
Damn,
he was like,
okay, no,
dude,
yeah,
ult and your ult is hitting more than my S3, and it's triggering me. I was like, yeah, I know, this is fucked up.
No,
so yeah, we weren't able to figure it out, and I haven't heard much other people talking about it. If like anybody's found out, if there's something more to it, if there's something definitive that like can trigger it. I mean, I looked at all sorts of things like it's not gender, it's not your typing on your unit. It's not your equipment. Like I thought maybe if people accidentally had like Trish equipped or something. I tested if maybe it was arcs. So I tried taking in like Alice with a different arc that I used on a different unit to see if like maybe a certain subset of arcs was a thing. That's not it. Suspect maybe it's like, oh, some weird like resist that could be on your units. Like maybe if you're not at least resist to curse or something. Like maybe you'll get hit by it. I don't know. But I didn't get enough of a data set to like be able to figure it out. So my best guess is it's just a random bug that just like happens more often to some people than others. But like I mean, it seemed like there was a consistent thing of some sort though. So I don't know. I don't know, it was weird. Every single Shift Golroth that I talked to could not do damage. Even though like,
you been talking to Shift Golroth? Boy.
But like, you know, he's a dark type, so you would think, okay, cool, that should be pretty solid of having an actual dark type. It's obviously not Luke, it's not Sheeta, whatever. Sheeta's generally fine from what I've seen. I saw xxBette do fine. I saw Ed do fine. Generally, most humans seem okay, as far as I could tell. So like, that's kind of something, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. So that was perplexing, but I've spent too much time on this boss for now. So yeah, new Godforge, very nice, which means we also got new Godforge stuff in general. Weapons. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to shut this off, and I'm going to come back over to the actual alchemy here, and let's take a look at some of the new toys that we got to build. Some of them super underwhelming, other ones pretty great. So True Sword Excalibur. So yeah, crit rate against undead, light attack damage plus 15% with a decent amount of stats. So to me, this is a free-to-play Godforge target that anybody can get if they haven't been able to do the Battle Lords yet, and they don't have Eldravina. So like, if you don't have those, this is a target you can go for. It's not the best in the game. Eventually you can get something better and upgrade, but for a lot of people, this could be a monumental upgrade for your light DPS. So, yeah, it's a good ad. It's a casual ad, which we don't see a ton of. But, like, I think that's a big win for some people that need it, you know?
Yeah. I like the way it looks. Man, I wish we could see these weapons in game. That would be so freaking cool, man.
Really cool. That would be sweet. Though it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, since we can put literally any weapon type on anybody, and, you know, sprites and stuff.
I love this comment. If it's not a new unit, you can't do damage.
Okay, so Divine Beast, Purgasphere? Purgasphere?
Yes.
I mean, in general, you know, I always like when they update the art, just adding a little bit of extra splash of stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, the unfortunate part is this basically gains some stats. Which, it's a little yikes. I don't like it. Like, this doesn't feel like it got much better. So, what it was before, when physically attacking, chance to have the enemy defense, and or attribute resistances, and then deal damage. So basically, that was, on each of your hits, I believe there's a 20% chance that you treat their attribute resistances as 50% less, or defense is 50% less. Like, there's two 20% procs. They can overlap. You could hit one of them or the other. It's just whatever. But then, in Desert, strength plus 15%. Like, just give us the 15%. Why is this limited?
It must be a Desert.
Like, I don't get it. But more importantly, like, if this is going to be a Godforge, and this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an 8-star. This is supposed to be good. Right? Like, this is like Godblade. That's
an AER too. Yeah, it's an AER weapon that you get.
Yeah, like the new Godblade that we got. Or the new the claw that we got. Like, this should be good. In my opinion, what they should have done on this is they should have not made this be a chance. They should have just said, when physically attacking, like, have the enemy's resistance and attribute, like, have enemy defense and attribute resistances. You don't even need this extra strength thing, and this would be a killer weapon. Like, this suddenly becomes an alternative to Trish. You know? Yeah. And like, especially good on dark types. But instead, they're just like, we'll give you some stats, basically. I assume, like, I would hope percentage would go up, but, like, if I'm being real pessimistic, how much you want to bet when this gets to plus 40, this strength while in deserts increases?
20%.
Because that's the number we can look at. Like, fuck me,
plus
man.
5%, but you still have to stay in the desert.
Yeah. Maybe the chance increased. It may have. I don't know. So, like, maybe instead of 20%, if it went to, like, 50%, that's pretty good. If maybe that percentage goes up and, like, maybe it gets to, like, 75% when it's plus 40, like, that would be insane, but I highly doubt it.
But again, where are you fighting desert? Like, I mean,
yeah, there's only a couple stages where deserts
exist,
like, you know?
you're rarely going to use that. I might as well just
stick it for Redgate.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, Redgate is still...
It's a desert, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's a desert.
No. No, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Redgate's in a desert. You're fighting the big sandworm guy.
Yeah, it looks like a big black hole space. If I'm gonna say it, it's where we were fighting that today. It just looked like a black hole.
I don't remember. All right, guys, Godhammer. So one of these things was a little bit goofy, and I'm actually really skeptical to actually level this up. Actually, like, I pretty much don't want to unlock this. This is a case like with the Mirage robe, remember, where they didn't have the MP?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Except I did hear that, like, that was re-added in. So if you didn't know that, they did change it and they put the MP back in. Like, they heard people complain enough, so that was good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this will be similar. But basically, Gnome Hammer was an excellent hammer. Crit rate plus 8%, which is huge, and then all your regulars deal extra earth damage. So, like, Yashimaru, this was a really good thing to put on him if you wanted to have, like, a regular attack pursuit build, you know? Just because the crit rate could go into, like, Star-Lord. You'd run Star-Lord to get some extra crit as well. Yeah, so, Gnome Hammer.
I'm checking Lake's Mine to see if they've updated the plus 40 on that in it, and we have not.
Sure.
I'm actually really curious to see what that percentage goes to on that crit rate, because that actually could be really fun to mess with if it does. I mean, what do you think that would probably go up to, ideally, for plus 40?
I would assume if that does go up, it'll go up to 10 or 11%.
10 or 11?
I assume it will be 3%, maybe, just because that's what the bow was, and that's the only thing we've seen raise on crit. It went from 5 to 8.
At a 1,
So-
2, 3, 4,
so
5,
maybe,
6, 7, 8 star. Okay.
11's kind of a weird number, but you know it might happen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Maybe-
now it's got basically 200 more strength, same exact crit rate, and then now enemies are more likely to faint, which is what this was. So they gave it more stats and then combined 2 weapons into one, which like is fine, but it probably should have kept the pursuit attacks. And the thing that would have been really cool probably is if they made it so the pursuit attacks were the thing that scaled up when you plus 40'd. But like crit rate is also going to be excellent. Like that seems pretty great. This is probably the biggest one out of the entire bunch.
Pyroclaw.
Yeah. So, a big PP strength, pretty good. You know, the stats don't matter much, but when they're this big, it makes a difference. And
Skill
so,
damage, bro.
First of all, let's look at this other one. So this was already a decent claw, 200 strength, and then plus 15% skill damage. Fire element, so like if you want a goddess kiss to be good, you know, it could help on, you know, maybe your Dilmordo, your Roy, stuff like that. Better options for Roy, but like if you're limited, sure, it's something. Yeah, pretty much same thing, but more strength and 30% instead of 15, and I have been told that when this gets plus 40, it gets to 40%.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty massive. Now, the only thing that technically got kind of nerfed is this is no longer skill damage, this is fire skill. So if you do this, you're committing this to be on your fire DPS units.
Right. Of course.
You know, which I think is fine. Like I'm pretty okay if they want to make things have this big of numbers that they become like more narrowed and niche. I'm fine with that, and we can just sort of make that decision of if it's good enough. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. That's the biggest win. I'm working on that right now. I need to go kill Vajra a few more times, and then I will be good to go on that crap. So that's gonna be cool. Pethio Staff Apocalypse.
I love the way this looks. It just looks so beefy.
So this is the original,
gnarly.
and like this looks fine, but the staff was always kind of bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay, but the thing is, like, almost no healers build crit, so the odds of hitting a crit on a heal just doesn't matter. And in most scenarios, you're kind of just healing to max anyway. Like if you have a dedicated healer, like Theria, she's almost always going to be healing through cap anyway, except in like maybe Arena. There might be a little bit of niche case there, but yeah, this new look, this looks pretty sweet. I like that they did a whole color shift on it and stuff. It looks all holy now, which is cool. It was a little weird that this was purple and light element before. That, I don't know, it threw me off a little bit, just a tad. But yeah, so light attack magic plus 10%. I mean, that doesn't matter a whole lot in my opinion. But if you wanted to throw it on a light DPS, it does at least also have a good amount of int and MP. So, you know, it's not the worst option. So you could get away with it. It's serviceable, and then also your recovery magic increases, cool, and then also a chance to deal crits. So, okay, neat, cool. Hold on.
Ice Omni King.
Hold on. Ichigo said they give it back to Pursuit at plus 40, and also the spear that removes desert condition. Just removes desert condition at plus 40.
Just give it back to the.
You a funny man. You a funny man. I like it. Basically, the things I'm complaining about, they're like, yeah, they just changed those at plus 40.
They remove it.
Yeah. They just bring the thing
I kind of believed him at first. I was like, wait, really?
Yeah. That would have been so awful and ridiculous. Okay, so Ice Omnicane of Absol. This is a really kick-ass staff. I'm
Dude,
happy
it
with
is.
this one. Dude, this
It
is
really
really
is.
good. Like it's niche. This is just like the claw, but for ice mages, right? Like
Right.
it is very niche. Like you're not just gonna have a dedicated ice mage usually. But yeah, like over 300 int, insane. No MP, a little bit sad, but still. Plus 25% ice
Wait, what?
magic. What?
He's not joking.
What?
He said he's not joking.
Not joking.
He's not joking.
Where's the handsome fellow jawline coon? Yeah, don't
Wait.
talk to that guy. Don't talk to that guy.
He said it's not joking that after you get to plus 40, it removes a desert condition.
Each, are you serious that like the
I want to
percentage back
believe
plus
you.
40?
I really do.
Dude, that would be hilarious if that's what happened. If they were just like plus 40, nice.
Yo,
JK, bro, this was a troll.
Yo, where's Tweaks at? Tweaks, confirm that, please.
Yeah, we know
That-
Tweaks
that's
has to
so
have had these
fucked up.
plus 40 already.
All right, we'll move on, but confirm
Yeah.
that for us, please.
Yeah, I want to know what that is. Okay, Earthguard, Noi Sklussel, I guess. I don't know how the fuck I pronounce that. You got an idea? You want to take a stab at that?
Wait.
Sklussel?
Wait, well, I'm still I'm still reading the chat. He's like, yep, that's what Lake said in the Discord. I believe it. Okay. All right. Well, now we know what the plus. Wow.
That's really funny.
Yo,
you know what?
that's
That
funny.
actually makes me more inclined to plus 40 it.
Yes,
Like,
just to get rid of it.
Because
Get
my
rid of it.
OCD would have been so pissed that it existed. So that is literally a boon because I don't care about that strength.
Oh my god, I can't believe that exists.
That's really funny. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how you pronounce this, and you're traditionally really hilarious at pronouncing things. So,
what one?
take a stab at this Earthguard.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, what is this?
Earthgarb Noi Shlushlo.
Schlischl?
Shalusel. Shalusel? Wait. No, that L's probably silent. Shusel. Noi Earthgarb Noi Shusel.
Okay, I mean, that sounds prettier than what I would have come up with, so sure.
Wait. Shulusel.
Take a shot, try it again.
Yeah.
Take
there
a
we
shot,
go. Okay.
try it again.
All right. Let me breathe.
Okay.
All right. Earthgarb Noi Shulusel. That sounds pretty good. Yo, don't
I
have
think there's
me.
a few too many syllables in there, but like,
Yeah.
you know.
Shulusel.
I feel like if we got the proper person to tell us what this says, it probably has like half these letters being silent, and it sounds real fancy. Just
Noi?
like Susel. It's just Susel. Noi Susel.
Shulusel.
I was gonna call it Earthgarb.
I feel like I should be spraying some perfume. Earthgarb. Noi Shulusel.
Okay, so we got another Godforge Earth thing. I do think it looks really cool. This looks nice. Adds plant type. Yay. Status ailment recovery time increased. Cool. And then also gives you a big fat stack of ailment resists. This is a good piece of gear. I'm not mad at that. I don't know if I'll use it much just because we have so many good options in the game if we're going to run close. But, like, this is not a bad option at all. At all. So, yeah. I dig it. What do you think about this one?
Which one? The Earthgarb?
Yeah, this Earthgarb. You were seeing it, right?
Add plant type, status, ailment recovery speed. I mean, there's times where I'm like, God, I don't want to be stunned anymore. God, I hate being blind or cursed. So, I mean, 25% is big. I mean, honestly.
Not bad.
And those resistances are really nice. You got a resist.
I think the ailment resist is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, huge. I wish curse was there because I hate being cursed.
Yeah. But it's, yeah, I guess in fairness, a lot of our units that we've gotten lately that basically want close tend to have like illness, stun, and curse on them already. Except for like Lancevale, he would have wanted some curse there, but he's got better stuff to wear anyway, so I don't care. At like a in-game player, I probably would never use it. But if I were playing like a new account, like mid-game, I'd probably use it just for the stats. So. Yeah, there's better stuff out there for this is an armor. Oh, it was a clothing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine, but it's something.
Yeah.
If you're looking to, especially in like arena, cover your ailments better, you
Yeah.
know, it's something that could do it, I suppose. But ailments, in my opinion, haven't been that much of a concern for a while. There's not that many people running V. Like, as long as you make sure your sorcerers can't get silenced and your DPS can't get cursed, that's kind of the main things. People aren't usually running much for, like, illness and stun stuff these days. It's good to compensate if you can, but, like, I don't go out of my way in my builds to compensate for it anymore, and I don't feel like I get punished too much. Except that, like, if anybody happens to run V on their offense team, I just insta-lose almost always. But I just concede that, like, 1% of losses, because, like, it just doesn't happen very much. If V propped up more, okay, cool, then I'd start doing it more, but everybody just does big dick DPS, so I play against that.
Majority, yeah.
It's the meta. It's fun, you know? It's fun to just slap damage.
Non-super, I think that'd be really great. And super, you're gonna get some Roys targeting you pretty dirty, so.
All right, let's take a look at the other stuff that we got here. So, yeah, we got the new rotation for some of this stuff. This is all up on the stream, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Good. Yep, I don't care about a lot of this stuff. Okay, game improvements. Removal of HP locks from bosses at certain thresholds. Limit breaker fields, ability gates, all that fun stuff. So, I think basically Godford bosses are the only things with HP locks now. And, like, that's only half or less of them.
Right.
The new ones that we get do not have them. So,
no.
I think we have a little bit of some different feelings on this. I'm pretty happy with this overall. I'm not a huge fan of HP locks. My general feeling on them is that they're a really uncreative way to just force people to sit there and let a boss do something. Whereas if you wanted HP locks in a game, I would rather see things like what Kraken does, where there's a big board-wide effect that happens like the rain that technically stuns you, but things like magic or unflinchable, like people with super armor, might still be able to do some damage. I just think it adds more depth to like your choices that you can do instead of just saying, nope, you're not allowed to do damage. But my biggest problem with HP locks was they didn't put any UI in the game to like explain it to people, so I still talk to people like now, like newer players especially, that just don't know HP locks exist. They just assume it's connectivity issues, and they just keep wasting all their skills and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's like, it's really frustrating to hear that. Like, they're like, what's this HP lock thing that you're talking about? They're like, oh, I thought there was just like, my thing wasn't updating, so the HP wasn't dropping and stuff. And like, some people just don't pay attention that like, it's a consistent thing. So like, I think HP locks would have been much less hated as well if there was like a visual barrier on the HP bar or something to just be like, hey, the boss isn't taking damage anymore. Like, stop it a little. But yeah, so I like it. Just because also it makes it easier, obviously, to just like loop through stuff when we need to farm hundreds and hundreds of these things. I think it's pretty good. Now, one thing, well, first off, I'd like to hear your take on it. Talk on your opinion of it.
On the HP locks, I don't mind them on the gates. I honestly thought it was going to be for all the Godforges. I do like some of the gimmicks that they throw out there with their HP locks. Of course, it's all personal preference on who and how people enjoy to play their games. I personally have never had an issue with HP locks, so I can't really say that, oh, I'm like super happy this exists, but it does make things easier. I was satisfied that they did increase the HP of a lot of the new bosses too, so that was pretty cool. So I mean, it's gonna, they're gonna make the game. They're gonna constantly change the game over and over again, whether we like it or not. So I'm just gonna roll with whatever they throw out. But as of right now, I don't mind it. I'm sitting in the middle, really. I don't mind it, and I don't mind HP lock. So if it happens, it happens. I'll never complain about it.
Yeah. What I hope is, at the very least, like them moving away from this will get them to put in some new game mechanics that can make things interesting in general. Right. I heard but only experienced it a little bit, but it seems like since they removed it from like Redgate, Redgate does more attacks now. Like just constantly does like AoE attacks, so like they made it more difficult to like kind of compensate, which is super cool. Like I'm totally happy with that being the change. So like, remove HP locks, make bosses a little more aggressive to kind of compensate. That's cool. I'm down.
Honestly, we were playing today, and it was normally that red boss was boring as hell to fight. Yeah. Back then we would just kind of rush to the backside, backstab, surprise attack, and just kind of wail on it. But now the dude was throwing out like this green poison stuff all over the place and like throwing us all back. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen that before. So yeah, they added some new attacks to that guy. So I thought that was really neat. It kind of separates everybody so that everybody kind of has to reposition themselves depending on what unit you're using. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and like in hindsight, back whenever people complained so much about Redgate because it was almost impossible in the landscape of like units that we had and we're used to. Like pretty much everything was physical DPS, almost no mages, and they had it where you couldn't end the stage until there was no elementals on the board.
That sucked.
So if you matched in with all physical DPS and like you couldn't coordinate, you basically could get into like a 40-minute match where like you just couldn't finish it. And people were so mad, they're like, okay, fine, we'll just take off that restriction. And then it became the most boring fight in the game.
I remember a lot of people complaining about it, dude.
Yeah, whereas now that we have mages in the game, the meta is to just like get a kill, get Pose for Honor to give you MP back, and then just chain magic the whole time anyway. Or run like Shift Zekis and get him to get stuff back and then spam magic the whole time. And so like the nerf they did before wouldn't, they could have left it exactly like it is. Except it needed to be like 2 months down the line when we get better mages in the game. Because we basically only had Shiv Zekis. He was kind of the only one that could really thrive in that sort of situation. At least with like the knowledge we had of the game and how we were playing. So, yeah.
So like I remember there was actually one point where I would take out all the reds and they would and the match still wouldn't end. So I mean that whole gimmick was just flawed from like the start.
Yeah.
So them removing that, and they removed that pretty quickly. Normally we kind of sit on these bugs for a while before anything happens.
Yeah, I think
but
it was like a week.
That one was removed super quickly, and actually people they enjoyed it more because I remember a couple of guys in the Discord talking about like, well, I've been here. It's been 13 minutes and I'm still fighting ads, and while the boss is not even alive. So oh man, yeah, that was a rough one for me too. Because I mean, reds are really important. You need them for almost every unit, and then lots of them. So
other random stuff. Alchemy, we got some sorting stuff, so we can look through alchemy stuff better. Cool.
Yeah.
50. Function was added. Oh, so that we can edit our units and arcs while in the start quest selection screen. This is awesome. Like, I was like, oh, this is kind of a minor thing until, like, I got in and I needed to use it, and I was like, oh, I can do this now. Like, do you know what this is? Do you know what I'm talking about here with this update?
Which one?
A function added to enhance units and arcs at the edit screen of a start quest screen.
No.
So basically before, when you're queued up to go into a mission, or you're, like, redoing it, maybe you're doing a bunch of auto runs or something, if you want to go in after a run while you're still queued up and, like, enhance your unit, bump up your SC, do things like that, you couldn't. You can only adjust your like skills and equipment. You'd have to back all the way out to the main menu to go and do things like enhance your unit and use prisms.
Oh yeah.
You can do all that from the start screen now. Enhance it. You can upgrade your arcs. You can do all that shit now. So yeah, awesome. It's just super nice quality of life. So yeah, I really dig it. They made it so 5 actually shows up on all your units, which is neat. So we can just see, that we don't have things done. Thanks, Ace. Cool. I'm not going to go through this entire bug list, but I will point out the Lanceville one. I didn't realize this was actually a bug. I thought it was just me being crazy sometimes, but I definitely have had times where like Lance would come slam down, and right when his sword hits the ground, his sprite freezes and just wouldn't do anything. So I hope I don't experience that anymore now.
Wow.
I thought maybe it was just a weird thing, like I'm in multiplayer, somebody else got a final kill, and then like instead of just fading out right away, it would freeze up. But no, apparently that was actually like a thing. So I experienced that a few times in the middle of a fight, and it was like, okay, janky. I hate it. All right, that's pretty much it for these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Doesn't really matter. Onward and upper.
Thank you for the free 500 crystals, guys.
Yay, 500 crystals.
Yay, 500 crystals. Insulting.
Nice. Oh, man, I wish Jawline was here because I would have wanted to talk about the time trials because we didn't have the podcast last week.
Oh, that's right.
So just touch on it super duper quick. I did have a lot of fun with the time trials. Worked with Jawline a bit on the stuff. Ended up taking 7th, which was super sweet. I don't even think that I've made. I don't know if I've even made top 30 before. So that worked out really, really nice. Spent a little more time than usual on it, and I actually have the tools.
Yeah, you did. You guys were like on a day one, like strategizing everything.
I mean, I was talking to people, but I didn't really do anything until like at least multiple days in, and then I came back like 2 days later and made my time better. I think I was over 4 minutes my first time. And then on my next attempt, I ended up getting like 242 or something, and then I ended up dropping that down to like 239 maybe. I don't know. I think I ended up making it like 3 seconds cleaner was like the better that I could do. But it was enough to be top 10, so you are dust score.
Nice, dude.
But I definitely think the bittersweet thing about it is like these time trials are very clearly for people that have... are willing to spend in order to get all of the things, and then also have skill to apply to those things that they have. Like, you could spend $1 million and literally have everything in the game and not make top 100. Like, you have to be good at the game. You can't just spend money. But in order to be in the top, you probably have to spend some money to get some very specific key things, or be ridiculously lucky, and then you have to also have really good skill. Right? So, like me, I don't think I would have made top 50 if I didn't spend $100 to get Honey Elixir, like flat out. Without Honey Elixir, I don't think I could have done it. So that kind of feels bad.
And who was your team?
And Gwar. Gwar I pretty much needed as well. I could have done okay with Gwar probably, but or without Gwar. But my team was Lukiel, Gobble, and Maja. I played,
wow.
Yeah, I played with some different things, but that seemed to work out pretty well. My initial time through was Lukiel, Tink, and Maja, and that worked fine, but basically Gobble existed to do Honey Elixir twice, and then also in that final wave to instantly clear the 2 heads that spawn in right away. So you just drop bombs on both of them, you clear them, that's like 6 million HP gone, and then you just go straight to the boss fight.
Right.
And then it's just
Maja?
And then it's just, well, then there's like one Maja cast, but it's mostly just Lukiel, and then she just ult spams. But
okay.
I'm told apparently if you were using like auto attacks just fine in your while in your ult, you could recharge your ult fast enough, and you could just infinitely chain Lukiel ults, and that was actually the meta and what people did. So they literally just had infinite duration of Lukiel ults, and that's one of the ways that people had like super duper good times. And I just didn't know that was a thing. Jawline did find one piece of really interesting tech that was super cool and helpful, which was when you're in the Lukiel ult, you could use like arc skills to do, or you can use summons to do damage. So specifically the Lug Mechia one that like rains light damage on things. If you're hitting all 3 enemies, you basically gain like 80 or 90% of your ult
back.
Yeah. So basically that lets you get 1 free chain.
Which is important because it would take up to 3 ults to drop the boss.
One fun thing that I heard that I'm kicking myself that I didn't find it, unless this person was lying, of course, but one person in Discord was just sort of rattling off the different things after maintenance happened and like the strategies that like JP used and like some of the things we didn't know. And we have the slime that spawns in. And like for me, what I did with that was I did some basic DPS with Lukiel. Mostly Maja did like 2 Nether Tempests with Sandworm and just like crushed it. And then Lukiel just did a little extra damage, and like that was fine. But apparently, if you Soul Spark it, it does like this mirroring effect or something where it uses Soul Spark back at you, and then just kills itself, and you get to move on.
What?
So at least that's what I was told. So like it spawns in, you time stop, Soul Spark. It Soul Sparks, and then you move on. You skip that entire part of the fight.
Damn.
So, like, apparently that was a way that people saved a good amount of time. Because, I mean, that's probably a good 10 to 20 seconds. More for a lot of people, I'm sure. So, I don't know for sure if that was true, but it sounded pretty good considering the other stuff that this person was talking about. I don't remember their name, so I apologize, especially if you're in chat. Whoever you are, cool. Good stuff. But I was running Soul Spark along with multiple revives on Maja. So that, like, I could use Soul Spark, like, 3 or 4 times every wave if I wanted to. And I never, for some reason, used it on the slime. I think just because Nether Tempest was working so good. But if I accidentally did it, and then it just happened, I would have been like, holy shit, this is a big deal. And I never did, so feels bad. But anyway, lots of fun stuff. I think the Rabbites and just the wave spawning was probably the biggest trouble overall. I mean, the bulk Rabbite, I think caused some people problems just because there was a rage phase, and I think that's part of where Lukiel came in, is like you can do a whole bunch of damage, get him to about 50%, and then freeze time and just burst the rest of it, you know?
That's what I had to do.
Yeah, I think that's what...
The rage would ruin me. Like, I had to figure a way to get around the rage.
Yeah, I tried to get most of it. One thing that I managed to do for one run, but the overall time just wasn't quite good enough, is I timed it so that after another Tempest, when it got about down there, I Soul Sparked to get Maja off the board. And then he enraged everyone, and then Maja respawned, so I could do another Nether Tempest to finish it. So, like, that was one thing that I was able to do to, like, avoid the enrage, so that, like, he could get that done, but not waste a Lukiel ult, so that you could get, like, 3... Well, you basically have 4 queued up at that point for the final wave. But, like, the weird stuff that I had to do for it, it just didn't quite work out on the time, and it also wasn't consistent, because for some reason, when the Rabbite started his attacks, the revive could still happen, even though it was time stop. So, like, the revive would still happen sometimes. Yeah, it's bulk. I keep saying black. I said bulk a couple times, but... bulk. But yeah, anyway. Time trials, I thought was super great. I know Adis came out and said, hey, we're going to make it easier so that people can complete it more. I think that it was easier to technically complete than others. I know your first time through... You told me, you just, for memes, to just look at it and just figure out the fight. What did you do?
Bro, my first... Okay, so I was being stupid. and I thought I didn't. Is it said? Well, I think the fight was like level 80, right? You didn't said it, right? Level 80.
It should have been 100.
Was it 100?
Yeah, it should
I
have
could
been
have sworn it said 80. I don't know. I think it said something low, or I don't know. Whatever. I clicked on it, not knowing that it was a time trial, and I only took Angela with me.
Yeah.
So I ended up like getting through. I was like, man, this is one hell of a fight. Why is it so long? And then I was like,
18 minutes in.
Yeah. So I got like halfway through, and I was like, man, this is way too long. Is this a trial? And I look at the timer. I was like, normally there's like there's like the there's like a pre-fight with a timer on it, right? So I thought maybe I did this fight and the final fight unlocked. So I was like, okay, let me just knock this out, get the feeling of it, and I'll jump into the real one. Well, bro, that was the real one. So I'm sitting there with only Angela, and bro, 17 minutes later, I beat it with just Angela.
Boom.
I mean, I was
bonus.
sitting here. I think my mouse might have like the left mouse button might have broken the amount of clicks I had to do just to get my Goddess Kiss procs in. But yeah, I did find out that if you stand in the far left corner, the things can't hit you. So that was able. I just how like auto heal is just amazing on her.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, 17 minutes later, I did beat it my first run.
That's so great.
And then I was like, okay, well, this is it. All right, so let me do some planning. I was like, I'm not gonna watch any videos. I'm just gonna do my own thing. So my first thing was like, well, I need honey elixir. So I brought in 2B with the Hell Mask. Is it the Hellion Mask or whatever? But it basically it takes away all our. Yeah, Elder Mask. There you go.
Yep.
It basically takes all the risks. So she's an insane Goddess Kiss proc unit. So I went ahead and she basically would use it and then get it back in like 2 seconds. So I basically had this gigantic honey elixir battery with me. So I was like, let me see if I can do that to my advantage. Because like I know that I didn't have Maja, so I was like, okay, well, what's my next best bet? And I was like, well, Angela and Ancient. So she has this really, I like her a lot because she can do Ancient, and then she can also like mid cast and throw something in between. But the only problem with that is that she uses so much MP. By the time you get to the boss, you have none left, and that's what really screws you over. So I had to like figure a way to like make sure I'm still having trouble with her procking for getting her MP back.
Even with like pose and killing all the Rablites, you were having MP issues.
Yeah, because it wasn't the little ads. It was when I fought like the bigger ones, like the big slime and then the black Rabbite or whatever. Like that was the problem I was having. But also I didn't know it was not really rage is not something that usually happens at all in LC. So I was like, what the hell is rage? Like, what is this? So no skills, right? Mm-hmm. No magic casting. So Angela's completely out. And so, I was like, well, I gotta figure this shit out, man, because I really don't know what to do at this point. And I know I did watch a video that John, I'm like, God, and I saw you. I was like, both using Maja, man, damn. I was like, I'm not hitting those numbers for magic. Yeah. So I had this idea of using, instead of running Guar on Blue Keel, I was gonna use her as this primary huge DPS by adding Solaris. Maybe bringing in Tink and Balin. I don't know. I was just trying to see maybe she could just carry the whole way through.
Sure.
But I never actually. So here's my problem. My problem is that holidays. I didn't have a lot of time to play it. So I only spent a total of maybe 5 hours total trying to figure it out before I actually got my best score, which I placed top 60, which is fine. Like I said, I didn't spend too much time on it, but. Was it fun? Absolutely. I loved it. It was at one point where I couldn't stop playing it. I ended up staying up till 4 a.m. just figuring it out. So I did really enjoy that. So I really do hope to see more of those in the future. I do know Gobble was a huge part of that. I didn't have him built, so that's my main reason why I couldn't use him either. And I didn't have the time to build him because I said I pretty much did it on the last day. So next time I'm. Gobble's built now. I actually spent this whole entire
couple days. That built. You need a couple.
It was 20 SD, dude. It was bad. Trust me, it wasn't gonna happen in 24 hours.
It could. It could. He doesn't. Yeah, 20 SC. He can get away with it, to be honest. But if you can make him super thick, it's extra good. So the main thing with Gobble that I didn't have the idea of, but Jaw pointed out, is before when I've run Gobble, it's usually Pirate Feast, and maybe like Stardust Live, so that I can get an extra bomb, since that's like his main bread and butter, but also like breaking, so like I'd run him on like Iron Pipe, the new Godforge axe for extra break stuff, give him Breaker, like all that fun stuff. But like you're not really breaking stuff in this fight, so like that stuff doesn't really matter. He's kind of just there to do Goddess Kiss, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll build him so that his Goddess Kiss procs can work well, because like he can self-sustain like infinite break, because like his regular attacks, if you build him right, like they can be pretty legit. But like things are moving around so much and you need to clear things so quickly that like that didn't really matter. So Jaw was like, well, just like give him Archangel's Blessing and pose for Ale of Honor, so that for wave 2 you can have just enough MP to get off a Honey Elixir. And I was like, huh. So we just build him like a mage. I'm going to strip all this damage off, because damage doesn't matter anyway. And we're just going to stack MP and a bunch of MP gear. And I was like, this makes sense. I like this. This is better. So yeah, it was pretty good. I just hadn't thought about doing that. So
what's awesome is that the fact of how old GA is and how fucking good she is, that is crazy, man. It's like
time stop. It's broken.
I cannot get over, like, you know what I mean? Like she's just so damn good. Yeah. And like she's never, I don't think
she cheats.
I'm surprised she's not like a 10 out of 10 because of how useful she is for like and you know, it's not like it's like we're using it for like extremely hard content, right? And like I don't know, just because of that, I feel like we should put her ass on the highest mantle.
So here's the thing, like at least if you're talking specifically about like the global tier list for like ideal usage, I don't have it in front of me. I assume she's a 10 out of 10 in ideal. Like, Tweaks just posted it. Like, she is. But I think the problem is, if you're a new player and you're looking at the tier list to figure out who to start with, Lukiel, like early to mid game, is kind of hard to make good. Like even like when I first got her, I built her up to like ADSC or whatever. I was having issues capping with her, which was like, it felt like her scaling was way off compared to all my other DPS. Like I had to put so much on her to make it work. Between like Science Flag and other stuff, I do think her E5 helped a lot. Getting Thaumaturgy range was massive.
Huge, bro.
So good.
Oh
like
my God.
Getting that final level of her skills and Thaumaturgy ring, she's so much better than she used to be. But even so, like for like a new account, or even like a account that just got into endgame, I think she's a little bit tough to make work. I still see people struggling to use her in like the Galanova fight, and like they're like, I just can't get her to cap. I can't get the numbers to work. So, like, she takes a lot sometimes, but
she
definitely
does.
better.
Take a lot of percentage ups. So that's for damn sure.
So any tips for somebody trying to make Lukiel work? E5 her and max that bitch out. She needs it. It helps.
And if you don't have her, build her. I promise you'll make your life so much easier. And people will
tell you, hey, like, especially if you have Great War of Ruin, that arc that lets you, like, instantly get your ult and then do back-to-back ults. It is super crazy, but you know what? You can also just use the Treasured arc. It's an R. It just gives you 50% reduction on your ult cooldown. You can get it back pretty damn quick. I was actually testing that over War in one of my runs, where I would just go and, like, she's wiping stuff really quick anyway, and you're getting so many hits, she could get her ults back really quick. So I was using ults to just like clear some of the Rabite waves, and like in round 1 I would use like 5 or 6 ults, because like you can just keep kind of like getting them instead of saving them all for the final. But I ended up moving away from it just because the burst from War is just so good. But for like an account not going for top 10, or just somebody playing through campaign trying to do Galanova, like the minus 50% ult charge rate is really awesome. So yeah, highly recommend.
Quick question. On the last wave of the, and so I still haven't watched any of the videos yet. On the last wave of the trials, you fight the 2 heads. Did you guys use Gobble to kill the first 2 ads?
Yes, that was the primary reason Gobble was in there.
So check it out. So see, if I would have taken Gobble in there, my time would have been under 3 minutes for sure. That was. So I would get in there like 2:30. I would get into that, and then since I didn't have Gobble built, I wasn't able to take those 2 guys down, so I had to use GA and Honey Elixir or Honey Battery, Honey Battery 2B.
Honey Battery. Yeah.
That's where my problem was. I mean, I had even Angela, so I can't even say that Maja was the biggest downfall. It wasn't. Angela was amazing in there. It was just those 2 ads and the fact that I couldn't insta kill them. I even did try Death God on Lukiel just to try it out. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
But,
one tip for you. I don't know if you have tried it. To me, I feel like bringing 2B as like basically your battery is basically a wasted slot. Lukiel's Goddess Kiss are actually insane. Like she can do super good self-sustaining herself.
Yeah.
And like I think she comes with Goddess Kiss.
No, she does.
Maybe
She does.
Okay, yeah. So like every once in a while you might have it hit a little bit light, but in general, like I think I had her on like Scarlet and maybe Science Flag, probably Science Flag. Which I mean, Science Flag obviously helps, but I mean she could easily get like 200 to 300 procs sometimes. Sometimes it might only be 40 or 50, but then she would hit much more. And like as the waves of Rabites were coming in, you could like target a distant one and then get pierced through. And then, like, have multiple chances to proc, and then she could just be refilled in between, like, doing different stuff, and she could just be honey elixiring herself constantly. So, yeah, I would play with that, because she's super good. I didn't think she was going to be very good. I was very impressed. That was kind of the first time that I tried playing with it, because I don't have many opportunities to use Lukiel, because we don't have a lot of hard content like this very often, so...
Right.
This is my favorite time in LC.
No, honestly, right, if we had more content like this, we would have way more testing.
Yeah.
And we would have I think we probably understand a lot more too as well, because we would figure out, stuff outside of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does come a Goddess Kiss, so that's really cool. I don't know, just 2B, it's that one hit. It's that one hit she needs, and boom, her whole MP bar is filled again.
Oh yeah, she'll definitely do it quicker. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. All right. One final comment I wanted to make on time trials. Something that I think we really need, because I've seen comments from different people of different skill levels, account, age, from a few of the time trials, which is, it feels like ATIS doesn't have, like, a good way of engaging the entire player base with, like, this event in general. Like, either it's way too easy, and then, like, hardcore players are like, what the fuck is this garbage? Stop making my game for casuals. Or it's so hard that people can't even get the completion bonuses. And, like, there's not usually much middle ground between there, most often. So, like, I would love if they could have some sort of, like, levels to these things. And maybe the super hardcore one has things that aren't like super duper mandatory for accounts. Like give us a unique like gold sticker for like, or like different stickers for certain stuff, and like a small amount of gems. Maybe not even gems, because people care about that stuff, but maybe some dust or some radiances or something. I don't know, something that's not going to make people mad, and then put like some of the better rewards in like some easier difficulty, so that like some other people can get those. Like the gem reward could be in like a medium difficulty or something, but basically just have things where like maybe the easy difficulty, like in the last time trial, for instance, we needed 3 full teams. Nobody can engage with that, even if they made like one good team. So like what if we just have a difficulty where it's not as serious, it's a little bit lower power, or even it's the same, but you don't get all the rewards, you don't get on the leaderboards or whatever, but you can still experience the fight, and you only need to take one team in, and they just repeat that team for each fight, and like you can just do it, and then you can experience the stuff and then get a little bit of rewards, even though like the endgame players get all of the extra stuff, Another thing that I think would be really neat is if they did something where they had more or less like a ban list or like a specific usage list. Like, what if we got a time trial where there's a normal one like we have right now, but then there's also like a monster only version, and like, okay, so now instead of the best time being like, oh, under 2 minutes, it's like, well, let's fight to see who can get under like 6.
Yeah.
Because like we get a bunch of these things removed, or even if they had a ban list, like, okay, this time trial you can't use any sorcerers, period. No sorcerers, figure it out, and just like, that'd be
awesome.
Or the best option, I think, and this wasn't mine, somebody in Discord had this idea, I believe, like I've talked about it before, I think, but somebody else brought it up, and I was like, please do this. But basically the idea of like, when you go into a particular difficulty of it, you lose access to your regular account, and you just get either everything in the game available to you to make a team and like assign skills and assign equipment and everything. Like literally everything ever is unlocked in the game for you for this particular one, or it's a specific curation of them. Like, okay, here's 20 units. They all know the same skills. here's all the arcs that are available to you, here's all the gear available, everybody has the same presets of crap available, and you need to do the best you can with these exact tools, and everybody's on literally an even playing field minus their game knowledge and skill.
That'd be pretty cool.
So, like, it would give an opportunity for some free-to-play players that maybe want to engage at a higher level, but just can't, like, afford to have, like, Theo and Gwar and, like, Honey Elixir, and, like, they don't have all those things, but they're like, oh, what if we did this thing, and we could do this? Like, they could go in theory craft and figure these things out, and I think it could get engagement from some of the, like, lower end players, and they could experience some of those things and then like potentially be like, oh man, I made top 20 in this particular thing, and maybe they'll be like, oh hey, this is the power that's like out there, and like I can try to strive to like get some of these things. But then there's like that satisfaction of creativity, you know? So like it doesn't need to be the main one, but just having like that is an optional like difficulty or mode with like its own rewards or its own leaderboard or something, I think would be really, really cool for people, you know?
I wish they did it bi-weekly challenges. Like that would be so fucking cool. Like that means we would be bored for 2 weeks. We would all be playing the game 2 weeks straight, and that would actually give playability, you know, time for like, you know, like I don't know. Like I feel like now we're just kind of waiting for a new unit to drop, and I feel like by adding stuff like that, even just bi-weekly, like challenges, and even like giving us like small little incentives like Mother Souls or something like that, you know, it doesn't have to be huge where you feel like you're being left out or anything.
Exactly.
But
like if you can't do it, you don't have to feel too bad. There's not that much FOMO there, but there's enough that you're like, when this comes around the next time, I'll be ready.
Exactly. You know? You're always on your toes. Like a lot of the time with me is that I get bored and I'm like, so much like, damn, there's nothing going on. So I don't play as hard anymore. And then when I come back, I'm like, shit, I forgot how to do this, or I forgot how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, that's a huge quality of life right there as far as like for the future of this game. Yeah, a bi-weekly challenge. Look it up. Come on, Adis.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about that before, like weekly and monthly things. Like we already have dailies. Let's get weekly and monthly so we can have a little more gem income too. That would also be really nice. Like give us a reason to go do end game bosses. Give us like specific challenges on them, like beat Pablo with a full ice team. Something dumb. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Full ice team. We just use xBette solo, no problem, easy.
Yeah, like honestly, if we had stuff like that constantly fueling like our minds to play this game, I feel like our time trials would be so much better. Like I feel like my time trials would be so much better because my learning curve would be like increased dramatically by the time that time actually came. Yeah. So like, you know. Yeah.
Want more stuff to do.
Yeah. Come on, guys. We're not asking for much.
And more gems, please. Give me more gems, please. All right. So anyway, what was I doing in here?
We haven't got to the unit yet, Zero.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Well, we keep.
That's awesome. No, this is good. This is good. No, this is good.
Oh, she's gonna. You know what? We're just gonna wait till the end. How about that? So we have an event. We have an event going on. This is a pretty bare bones standard event. You want to do this one that costs 3. It's the only place to get tickets. Tickets let you come into this extra challenge, and they did this cool thing that people liked before, where you get guaranteed ether at the end.
Yeah, is it still 2%?
Cool. I haven't even done it to pay attention.
Yeah. It's only 1 ticket, isn't it? 1 ticket per run. Not 1 ticket, but 9 tickets per run.
What?
I don't think I've gotten more than 1
tickets
really?
per run. It's a lot.
No. To get tickets. Oh
yeah. You get like 60, or you get like 9 tickets off this. You might be able to Beast Hunter for 18.
Really? Because I've been done Beast Hunter several times and I've only gotten 9. So I don't know if I'm just getting really unlucky.
Did you get double coin drops? It might be a chance. It might be a chance to steal coins or to steal tickets.
Maybe. It might have been double coins.
Yeah, I thought that it was 18 total, but...
I hope it is. I hope I'm just getting shafted at that point.
Yeah. But anyway, event's pretty cool. The main thing that is extra cool about it is there's actually a really, like, thick shop.
A lot of stuff.
We've got an arc we can get, which I don't think is super duper crazy, but it's got some cool tools on there. We can take a look at that at some point. The Santa outfit is just kind of whatever. Neat, I guess. Especially, I mean, new accounts. This is really good. Like, this is some good stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, it's some good stuff for a new account. Spear. This is a nice spear. Physical attacks against the undead, and it's got some decent strength. Sure, I guess. You know. Don't forget to get your prisms. I still need to get mine. You can go in and trade a bunch of coins for tickets, so if you just really want ether, you can focus entirely on using this event to power up ether to get stuff that you want. So
10 tickets per 1 coin is super awesome. So yeah, definitely do that.
So every six coins you get a run. So pretty good. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff here too. 50 of each crystal. The shop might even refresh with more. Metal plates for the people trying to build Pure Blade. Metal plates, everybody wants metal plates and you can never get them. They're really slow on IGC3. I think I farmed like 40 of them in like 16 hours. So like, yeah, metal plates, anytime you see them, pick them up. So metal plates for your Pure Blade, you early accounts you. We'll look at her paid after, I guess. Let's see, the arc for people to actually pick up. Alright, this is new, which means I can sort by arc ether. Yay. Alright,
wow.
White Christmas. Bunch of basic bitch stuff. It has a magic defense up 4, I guess, which is kind of uncommon. Ether heal, which is kind of neat, I guess. It's cure all, but for 2 extra SC, you heal a bit. I don't know if you necessarily need it much, but it's fine. Maybe someday you'll want it, you know? That's a thing. Dark attack damage taken -20. Continuous regeneration. Okay, cool. When an ally is incapacitated for the first time, restore 20 MP. This, you could potentially use this on a sorcerer in like arena, and like if somebody dies, you could get enough to cast your first spell or something. So like you could use it. I don't think it's great though. And then this is also just kind of fine. Regular attacks have a chance to recover some HP. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Your account's great.
Looks like Tweaks is confirming what you were saying. 9 tickets every single run and 81 coins, like every single time.
Yeah, okay.
So stealing just gets you coins. But then you can take that and, so what did we say? Every 10, so then you can convert 80 of those coins over into 8 more runs. So, right? Is that the right math? I don't know if that's the right math. Probably not. I don't care. I'm drinking. It's catching up. I'm actually starting to feel it a little bit. We're going to collect this quick. All right, so let's get on to the girl. The reason everybody's actually here, right?
Right.
You know, I'll go here so that we don't have to look at my build.
Not ready yet?
Lilibet. I mean, what can we say about the girl? Adis likes to print money and waifus do that. She looks great. She looks so good. This is great art. Let's be real. They know what they're doing. If you look on like the screen and like the narration, when they did the promo video and it shows her skill sheet, it literally has her saying, "Oh, my outfit's a little skimpy, isn't it?"
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't you think this is skimpy? It's like, yeah, Adis, we know. We are aware. Yeah. But yeah, she looks great. I love it. Do you want to go over some of this base stuff?
Let's see here. So I will load that up real quick. Where are we at? Let's see. We got it. Oh, just love looking at how many times I've tried to pull for her. Recommend. Okay, so are we going over her base stats?
Sure, stats, abilities.
Yeah. So we have a sniper. So yeah, 2 guns, really cool. As you were saying, that outfit is really skimpy. I know a lot of people have already seen her S4. When I first saw it, wow, Adis. You guys liked it. Y'all know what y'all are doing, man.
Dude, they know how to make a Christmas tree.
Camera zoomed in and everything. You guys saw that. I mean, it wasn't just me. So yeah, we had decent HP at 6,811. That's not bad at max.
That's not that squishy. That's not.
Look at that MP though. Look at that MP. 362 at max as well. So overall, her base stats are really good. INT's a little low, but super solid. Resistances are nice too. +20 to fire, +10 to ice, neutral on earth, negative on -30 on thunder, and a +10 on light, neutral on dark, res poison, weakness to blind, res to silence. We can up that if you guys need. Well, she doesn't really. Honestly, I wouldn't even build it for. She does come with like a couple of stuff to buff your units, but I honestly wouldn't even really use that stuff. Especially after what I saw today. Resistance to curse, neutral to stun, and nil on illness, which is it's okay. I rather honestly, if I could switch the res to illness and the nil to curse, would have been perfect. Because her S3 is definitely something you definitely don't want to miss out on. So I would actually make sure that you're kind of buffing that curse up a little bit so that you do not get that curse. So skills.
Yeah.
were you saying?
Yeah, skills. I was just gonna say, let's move on to abilities. Think about
Yeah, ability. Yeah, skills we have. Gift for you for S1, frontal medium area, long range ice combo attack. So I believe, how many hits is it? 0. I know you have her. I don't have her,
8.
of course.
I believe it's
8 hits. 8 hits on that.
Yeah.
I never. You know what? I didn't even catch this. Chance to inflict movement speed debuff on enemy. Is that like kind of like the way Tinks works?
Like how Tinks works?
Nocturne Tink? Yeah, Nocturne Tink.
I don't have her, so I don't know. Probably.
Oh, okay.
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 I don't know what the value is. I assume it's no different than like Giga speed down or whatever. Like DeGrogue has like the anti-haste or whatever that like applies a speed debuff onto things. And there's select units that'll do that. I don't know what that value is though, like if it's a lot or a little, but I'm always happy to throw speed debuff on somebody, especially in arena.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know, because I know when I would play PvE with Nocturne Tink or Swimsuit Tink, doing her skill where she does slow down movement, it's insane. It looks like they have glue on their feet. So if she's doing the same thing, and then, we'll get to the S3 here in a minute. For her S2, it's a wide area ice combo attack. Of course, she will have to move in a little bit to get that. How many hits is this one?
I don't know exactly. I want to say that it's either 8, 10, or 12. Somewhere in there.
So yeah, it's a pretty good little AoE, but her bread and butter right here is going to be Christmas Cannon, wide area long range combo attack. So yeah, she can attack from the all the way across the map and pretty much nail every enemy, and she caps really well with it too. So yeah, no, that I actually one of my friends has her and pretty much kind of built on my friends list. So I was testing. I was like, holy crap, it's almost on the same level as Roy. Not really, but because the damage isn't really there. But I was really impressed with that Esther, because I know whenever we saw the video, it wasn't like, I was like, there's a bunch of presents hitting these dudes. But I guess with dual wield active and everything, you kind of just flood the screen with numbers.
It's a lot. It's good.
It's really good. and then we have the winter celebration. Oh, you sons of bitches. Powerful ice combo attack to all enemies. Cut enemies ice resistance. So that's really nice. I don't know what that stat is, but do you know?
This is exactly the same effect as Shift Medine, which is great. It just applies the basic ice resist down debuff.
Okay.
Yep. So it won't stack with Shift Medine, but like there's some of the only units that do it though.
Okay.
So it's
really
great
cool.
though. It's really good. So
nice.
I was hoping, because the wording is different, like they chose to write cut enemy resistance. I was hoping it was either like a bigger buff or or I thought maybe it would just be something dumb, like maybe a piercing effect on it where it like ignores all ice resistance even though it's a nice attack or something. I don't know. But for some reason they gave it different verbiage. It's exactly the same as Medine's as far as I can tell. Just throws on the -20 ice debuff, but that's great.
You know what I was thinking or today, I was like, I don't have her, right? I mean, I'm definitely hoping for a daily pull on her. Fingers crossed. But I was actually thinking, like, what if you put like Roy on Arena on the bottom left hand and then her on the top right, and you both had her S3s go off at once? I really would love to see what that looks like.
You can. It would look like death. That's what it would look like.
So I was like, damn, okay, that's actually kind of cool, man. I mean, it won't probably hit as crazy as Roy, but I mean, that just to see all that happening at once. I mean, of course,
she's good enough. She's good enough. She can carry with the best of them in arena.
Good. That's awesome. That's
good. So like, if you build her to be like your main big dick DPS that's just gonna nuke people, she can nuke people. So all right. So my comments on her kit overall. People have drawn a lot of comparisons to Roy. They're not wrong. So S1, Roy's is range restricted, where hers is line of sight restricted. She can shoot all the way across the map, but she has to be in like a pretty strict line. Like some units have like a bit of a cone. She needs a pretty decent line directly to them, which works really good for her, which I'll get to. It's actually a massive boon, unlike sometimes. Merry Snowman, again, Roy's S2 is also the same thing. We also see similar stuff on like Kahaku, Ray, DeGrogue. Like when you have these S2s that just stand you in place and do an AoE, high value, especially if you're fighting somebody like a Ruto in arena, where it doesn't matter if you're targeting someone specific.
Exactly.
You can go
it's huge.
Yeah, you can just use it. It doesn't matter if you're targeting them. You can just go walk by somebody and do something. Now, the difference is Roy's hits much harder and much faster. So DPS-wise, especially in PvE, Roy's S2 is actually really good for damage. It hits really solidly. It's not like his S2, but it's really good. Hers doesn't hit quite as hard, but the fact that it goes longer means in like Arena, the CC is much better. And also, she can't get flinched out of it. Well, okay, correction. She can get flinched, but when it doesn't cancel the skill. So if you keep getting slapped and keep pressing S2, it stacks up those abilities, and they just keep doing the AoEs and proccing damage for everyone. So like, it's a really good. She doesn't get punished for getting flinched right when she starts it, which is really, really huge. So that's good. Tweaks is saying that Roy's S1 is similar. It's just a bigger cone. Okay. It felt like it wasn't quite the same for me, but I guess maybe I have to test it a little bit more. Because it seems like Roy, if somebody's directly above him and I start running towards him, towards them, he'll move a little bit and then he'll use it, whereas Bet, she wants to run right in a horizontal line even if they're vertical on him. So that's kind of how it feels. But the interesting thing about Roy's that I found is, like, if you get within range to target and the first one targets, the enemy that you're targeting, their location and distance from you does not matter for the second and third hits. So, like, in the fights where you're fighting, like, Zykes, you can hit him with the S1, he teleports, and then he could be across the map on the other end, and then you're going to hit him again, and he'll teleport, and then he'll teleport someplace else, and he'll hit him again. So, like, it's pretty funny. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'll have to test her S1 a little bit more, so thanks for that, Tweaks. And then, yeah, Christmas Cannon, again, similar to Roy. Big AoE, almost instantaneous, but I did notice it is a slightly smaller AoE. I'm guessing like 5 to 10% lower, which just means depending on who you're targeting, sometimes you're not going to hit everybody in a wave. But luckily, she gets 2 charges of it. We'll see. She basically has Pirate Feast, and usually your first one will kill things, and then you can use your second one if you need to. She does a very good job at killing all the things, and her ult obviously is beautiful, and the fact that it reduces resistance is great. I think we've all complained before about how we hate ults that's just damage when, like, the damage isn't good enough. So, like, any utility is great, so I'm really glad she has it. I will say, it feels like her ult charges super duper slow. Like impressively slow. I was trying to make some meme videos. I posted one recently. You know, I'll just talk about this while we're on skills right now. But recently posted my channel a series of videos just showing off her auto attacks. Her auto attacks, I believe, are 4 hits, single wield, but she has dual wield innate, so that goes up to 8. And basically, when you can do something called skill canceling in this game, and basically you need to have a very specific unit to do it. So you need to have an auto attack that can basically be attacking, and then have a skill that requires something specific. It could be range, it could be a certain line of sight, like a verticality on someone. That's usually the most common. So, like Roy, for instance, he could do skill canceling with his auto attacks to make it so you could get Goddess Kiss procs faster. And what you do for that is you tap your auto attack, and then right after you see the projectile leave, you tap S1, because that's his skill that has a restriction, because he has to be close enough to things to use it. And that will make him interrupt the rest of the animation of his auto attack to start running at the enemy, and then you tap auto attack again. And you just kind of tap between those two, and you sort of get a feel for the right momentum of it. And you could basically use his auto attacks like 3 times faster, which is insanely high value. V can do it to do pretty good damage. You can do it with Merity, but she's like the hardest of the bunch, because she's a melee unit, and hers doesn't have a huge restriction on her, like S2, I believe you use for it. So like she's super duper hard to do it with, but she can do a ton of damage if she does it right. Well, because her S1, Lilibet's, has a strict line of sight restriction, she can use this to make her auto attacks basically become a machine gun, and it's fucking hilarious. So if anybody wants to see that in action, go check some of the other videos on the channel. The homie in the Discord, Odium, was talking about this for the last couple days. He's been playing with it, and he just sort of was casually popping in and being like, hey guys, I can hit X amount of damage with some auto attacks with like all these passives and stuff. It seems pretty good. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. This seems neat. But like V can do that sort of stuff. Leona can do decent damage with autos too, sure. And he came back and was like, oh, hey, I have it doing now like double the damage. I'm doing like this much damage. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you're still doing a bunch of damage. That's fine. But like auto attacks, people can do this type of damage. It's not a big deal. Then he came back and he was like, oh, hey, here's somebody with like, it was like 2 ogres or something. He was just like melting them almost instantly. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's neat, but this looks like kind of a low-level stage anyway. But like, that's really cool. It looks sweet. And then he came back and showed me Lambda dying in like 10 to 15 seconds. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yo,
there's something happening
what?
here. And then I was like, okay.
I was like, what did you do, man? What did you do? I already did want to pull for her. What did you do?
And I was like, okay, so what exactly is going on here? I need to spend more time on this. And then I went and made an auto attack build, and I ran it against like Blaze Worm because I did my stupid Cryo Leona thing before. And like, oh my god, it just completely demolished that fight. Like, as opposed to Leona, like, it was ridiculous. Just completely obliterated the HP pool. And then he kept coming back with some more stuff, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go test this other fight. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna go test Pablo and see how she does with, like, alternate elements. Like, okay, so I set her up to use, like, Godblade and the Fire Bow, and just to try that. And I was like, oh, I just casually got, like, 1 minute 45 second clear with just auto attacks. That's pretty good. And then like really right as I posted that, he sent me a thing and he was like LOL and posted a video that was like
Lambda.
Yeah, it was the Lambda one. And then he was like so here's a screenshot. I just got a 47-second clear on Pablo with only auto attacks. And I was like, send me that fucking video.
Oh my god. That's so
I was like, yeah, I'll post the Lambda one, and then if you want, I'll post this other one. We need people to see this shit because it's ridiculous. So I was like, damn, dude, this is insanity. And it literally made my day. Like, it was nothing was more satisfying than seeing this man machine gun Pablo down in seconds.
It's bad when you see like her doing shit that Dante should have been doing. Like, like, damn it, man.
So he was posting and he was like, okay, so I saw people doing like I think he caught the Power Creep podcast. So obviously Tweaks, Buddha, Crypt, Deimos, and they ran the new Godforge boss and like completely demolished it, like broke it like 40% of the way through and then just nuked all the rest of it. And he was like, yeah, they had like in one break phase, 4 Lugs did like 12 million damage. In one break phase, I just did like over 20 million damage with my Leona, or with my xBette. I think she's probably a lot better than Lug now. And I was like, you know what? The math checks out. Let's see this. So we might have a new best DPS if you are using that thing. Now my fear, and like I was really hesitant to post it, and I didn't post it to Reddit or anything like that. Obviously, it's gotten out because people are sharing it. I'm worried that Adis is going to see that we're doing this stuff, and they're going to be like, that looks like fun. We don't like fun around here.
Let's take it away.
Let's not have that. I mean, obviously, she's kind of broken. Just a little bit. But, like, she's kind of
But we've been doing that with Roy, though, haven't we? We've been kind of...
Yeah, but, like, it's not super broken. Yeah. Like, that's a skill gap that, like, lets you get MP back a little bit faster. She literally goes from being, like, a really solid unit to, like, literally by far best DPS in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you can pull it off and you have the right build, like, you need setup to do it. Like, you need some skill to execute it, which I will say the, like, skill canceling on it is much easier than others. Like, it feels similar to Roy, but, like, almost with some extra forgiveness to it. But, like, it's easier than V. It's way easier than Merity. But, yeah, the rhythm feels very similar to Roy, but a little bit easier. So, yeah, she does very, very good with it. The counter for damage only counts for damage that's done to the actual bar, so it would never count 20 million damage. Okay. Well, I don't know the exact number, so, like, yeah, that's a good cutoff. I don't remember what exactly was said. So, I hear you, though. Literally need no skill for this. Literally spam S1 and regular attacks constantly. Yeah. I mean, you can mess up the motion sometimes. Like, I know it feels super duper easy, probably for you, Tweaks. I mean, it feels quite easy for me too, but I've even had sometimes where, like, the rhythm gets thrown off a little bit, and then, like, I'll notice a little bit of a pause in the stream and stuff. But, like, in general, yeah, almost anybody can do it. It's really not a huge problem.
That's super cool that she can do it, though. I love seeing it. I really did love seeing that.
Well, and, like, it's nice to have a reason to, like, build impacts on a unit. Like, that's not a thing that we normally do, you know?
Yeah.
It is the easiest canceling ever. But I'm just saying. I could just be super bad, but, you know, whatever works.
I can just be super bad.
I mean, I can be. I mean, I must be. I had to post Odium's video instead of making my own. So, like, you know. But anyway, moving on. I digress. I've gone too far away from this at this point. Let's move on to her traits. You want to read some of these?
Oh, yeah. So, Sniper Santa, when physically attacking damage cap are proportional to distance of long-range attacks. So, kind of like a little Maglion.
Yeah.
Max 40% plus 6k. So, I'm guessing. What is this when physically attacking? So, this actually does help her regular attacks in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
when far up, I don't have the unit mental testing. The farthest I've tested this unit is Wish has my buddy Wish has him on the friends list. I think she's pretty built on there. So, and that's one thing I did notice is that her regular attacks were insane. I tested her today for a little bit, and I was like, holy crap! And then you showed me that video, and I was like, oh my god.
Now, I will say she doesn't feel as broken out of the box as like Shift Alice. Like Shift Alice. You don't even need you don't need to swap Slayers. You don't need to worry about like element stuff on your weapons. Like she's always going to be hitting like over 100 on her Goddess Kiss procs, like on almost any enemy, and she's almost always capping and everything. Like she's an exceptionally gross unit. So anybody trying to compare them and saying xBette is bad because she's not as good as Alice. Alice is a gross exception where her scaling is ludicrous, and I don't know why it is. Yeah. Like if
they remove damage cap off her, oh my god, that'd be insane.
But that said, like because of the hit count on her stuff, and you can skill cancel and everything else, like the sheer quantity of hits she has, you're gonna have no MP issues whatsoever. And plus, you know, if you decide to just use auto attacks for single targets, you don't even have to use skills. You don't have to worry about honey elixir or anything.
Yeah. And then so when far enough from the enemy, crit rate plus 5%. Free crit rate up, I'll take it. Machine equipped, cut defense plus 5, or defense 5%, and then deal damage. So
good. So like that's literally ignoring. So like that's a free piercing effect, pretty much. Like,
it is,
that's good. And it's not a chance. So like, cool, free real estate.
So I'll let you do the last one, Season of Giving, because Season of Giving. We're all about the giving.
So, battle start. Apply to the highest strength ally, excluding this unit. Kill your Slayer damage plus 30% to the most numerous enemy type. So, this uses the same logic basically as Theria's, where Theria looks at all the enemies and says, how many of each enemy type is there? Oh, there's like 5 insects and 2 dragons? Cool. So you're going to get a minus 20% damage reduction on all our allies against insects because they're the most common enemy type. If Bette's in the team, xxBette, she's going to say, hey, there's a bunch of insects? Cool. Who's got the highest strength on the team? You? You're the big PP in the team? Cool. You get Slayer damage on insects, and then it's going to do a bunch more damage. Cool. Enjoy. Go ham. So she's a good DPS herself, and that makes your DPS even better and more versatile without having to spend Slayers.
And we all run Slayers too, though.
Yeah. Now, the only negative here is it's a 40-second buff. It doesn't last forever like Gorm's. Like, Gorm targets one ally with a particular thing, lowest HP in his case, and then, like, his buffs just stay. xxBette, hers doesn't. So, like, you need to kind of rush through the things, but it does make it so that, like, you know, in Arena, it's a really nice thing to have, especially when you're attacking people and you can look at teams and be like, oh, they're running A2N2B. Sweet, I guess I get free Machine Slayer on my main carry. Like you said, maybe you want to run her with Roy, and like her and Roy. You could just make Roy be your highest strength and be like, cool, I don't need to spend 9 SC. And like some fights, they could have Ray and Luke. Some fights, they could have, you know, double machines. Or maybe they have a bunch of knights because they're a Pillow Fort team. You don't have to swap Slayers. You don't have to do anything. You just dynamically have the best Slayer for the job. Like, almost always, which is really great. Like, I just...
They're really good.
Yeah, I love it. It's super cool.
I love the ATIS wording. I just love them in their wording, man. Most numerous enemy type.
Yeah. Like, I can technically read it and know what you mean, but, like... You know...
God, guys, please. Please. Just say what you mean, please. Okay. Like... Golly.
All right, let's take a look at some of her other stuff. Do you want to read through skills, or do you want me to read through skills?
Go for it, man.
Okay, so she's got a bunch of basic bitch high buffs. Protection, magic barrier, grand brave, high vitality. I personally don't care. We've got so many sources.
Not
going to
use them, bro.
Yeah, I don't care. The only thing that I kind of use sometimes is maybe Grand Brave, because she doesn't come with Brave. So like if you have time and you're setting up to nuke a boss, sure, you could use Grand Brave. Cool. Yeah. But like these other things, I don't really care personally. Crit up 2 would have been better if this was Crit up 3, but whatever. It's still pretty solid. Yeah.
It's still 5%, and then you get the 5% from her trait, right?
From her trait, yeah. Before I move on to a bunch of the other things, we'll notice a lot of crit in her kit. I don't know the exact number, but before you add anything else, I believe her base has over 50 crit. Like if you're utilizing all of her stuff appropriately, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like it's really obscene how good she is with it.
Okay.
Yeah, Tweaks, we know most numerous is a grammatically correct statement, but it just sounds confusing for things sometimes. It just
if you bring a new player in here, they're not gonna know what that means, man. I'll tell you that right now.
I think a half intelligent person can like kind of like know what that means. It sounds like you're trying really hard to just say a lot. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't really care. I really don't care that much. But anyway, advanced aim vitals, okay, mainly good for PvP. That's pretty much it. Free proud force, cool. Some sustain, very nice. Auto crit, very nice. Brute Slayer, big ad for PvE. Love it.
That's awesome.
Absolutely love it. You love to get these big things. Obviously teach special boost to her, but yeah, very, very good. Lots of
crit. Ooh, look at that crit. Ardor, auto crit.
Yeah, we get SCT speed and crit up. Based on how good her auto attacks are and her having some things for max HP, I definitely recommend, if you have it available to you, teaching Moonsaber, because it's insane on her. Like pretty much one auto attack, she'll be full from almost dead. Pretty much always. She's really, really insane. Ice High Drive, Attack Raise, and Attack Raise 3, and Crit Raise. Like, this is a lot of good bonuses. There's no misses here. Like, you can teach
so
a little drive if you want.
Man.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yule Feast, this is just better Pirate Feast, which is really great.
It's a huge save, 9 SC if you go to Pirate Feast.
And I'll also point out, like, because she doesn't easy cap as much as Shift Alice, I run things like Berserker on her. And I like it because, like, she can sustain her HP pretty well with Moonsaber, like I said. But, like, maybe you don't have Moonsaber. And basically what this kind of ends up being is Berserker every 6 seconds leeches 16%, like 15 to 16% of your max HP. So if each round you clear it in less than 12 seconds, you're always max HP for your first few skills every single wave because of this, even if Berserker triggers once. So, like, I kind of like that. That's nice. Just a nice passive thing. Maybe not intentional, but, like, it's a nice little ad, you know? Free Goddess Kiss, lots of value. Maglion Shield. Like, this is a lot of expensive shit for free.
Very. Maglion's 11?
Dual wield. Other than 2B, it's been a while since we've seen dual wield for free on a unit. Like, this alone, like... Dude, her kit is so stacked. She's got so many SC saves. It's ludicrous.
Her brand new account is pretty crazy.
He's here. Like, it's insanity. Bow High Boost we don't see often because it's not on an arc yet. Which, again, more crit. Hell yeah. So good. Machine Boost. Okay, cool.
Oh my god. You're right. I've never seen... Oh, wow. That's how little we have bows. I didn't even realize. 7% crit rate. Holy hell.
Yeah, it's good. An extra 7%. It's
Sharp Eyes. Oh my god, man.
I believe, like, other units have Bow High Boost. I can't name all of them, but, like, I think Fall got it when she got updated. OG Lilibet might have gotten it. I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's still cool. Sniper Shot, she gets some extra stuff. So, crit damage increase, crit cap increase. I don't love this skill. Because I don't like things being focused on crit. And, like, if it's going to be focused on crit, give me more than 2,000. Because, like, there's going to be...
Yeah.
You know, it's like, odds are...
It's going to be random numbers. Just...
Yeah, like, you're going to add a little bit. So, like, maybe you'll get to, like, 60 or 70% crit. But then, like, that's only on, you know, those attacks that you're getting only 2,000. Yeah. So, like, effectively, it's, like, maybe 1,500 cap. Kind of. And the crit damage, you're going to be capping anyway. You don't need that extra crit damage. Except in Arena. It's good in Arena. I'll give it that. Sharp Eyes, yeah, free damage. She's really good with Goddess Kiss. She can sustain that. She needs the bonuses to hit her cap anyway. Pretty good. Pulled Catalina. Great, man. Great. Glad you pulled Catalina. the meme that my pronunciation lives on. Mercury Veil, I think this is only on Zykes, but like just nullifying a status ailment means I don't really care to build for ailments in Arena, so that's nice. Beast Alliance, all of Bette's forms have Beast Alliance, so cool. I mean, when it's free, it's great. I'm not going to spend the SC on it, but when you have units that have it, cool. Snow Blossom, another one that I feel feels kind of useless overall. Your next skill does extra.
Yeah, you won't see it.
Yeah, after you cast the thing. So like we're early game, I could see this being a thing. Like, you could put Grand Brave on you and then throw a skill, and then you could put on like Moon Saber and throw a skill, and then you could put on Grand Protection, throw a skill, or High Protection, throw a skill, and be doing some more early on. Endgame, we build everything to cap, so like this is pretty dead slot, but it's fine. Makes it easier for new people. Double guns, this one's fucking great. So good.
The next two are really good.
2 weapons equipped. No restrictions. Just when you're dual wielding, literally anything. Your ice damage increases, your damage cap increases, and regular attacks have a chance for extra ice damage. I don't even know what that percentage is, but that surely contributes to how broken her ice attacks are. Like, it's really good. Like I said, I don't know what exactly that is, but yeah, it's good. It's real good, and I like it. I like it a lot. Surprise attack, battle start. So this skill just piggybacks off of her trait. So she looks at the person with the highest strength, says, okay, you're going to get that Slayer, and they are going to do more damage. This says, okay, that more damage you do, you're going to also have 3k cap on top of that. And this is unique, stacks with everything else. This will go on top of Balin's Charisma, it'll go on top of Tink's 5k ult buff, or even the wave start from her or Medine for 3k. So like, between this, if you just have her and Tink, and like, you can use, using me as an example, can have that. I don't have Balin, but I can use Scarlet Blade and the multiplayer ring and just those 2 units and make any unit in the game have an extra over 10k cap super duper easy. Which is kind of crazy. I mean, it only lasts 40 seconds, of course, because it's a buff. It's battle start, which almost every time you see battle start, it's 40 seconds. 99% of the time. But like, still, for 40 seconds,
yeah,
that's a lot. Like, when this all stacks together, it's pretty sick, you know? It's really, really great. So, she's a beautiful unit. She's a good DPS all on her own, especially if you use the skill canceling. You know, you can build her for that. But otherwise, her skill kit in general is pretty solid. I think her S1 animates a little bit slowly, but the fact that it slows things that it hits to is, it kind of makes up for it. And the fact that it is strict line of sight is really, really nice for making her auto attacks good. So, I think she's a beautiful unit. I started using her in Arena. She feels great there. I'm very, very pleased. I think she feels awesome. She's got some good art. She's got a really sweet kit, even if like some of her kit is a little bit of a miss in some places. As a whole, she's so stacked that I can look over it pretty easily.
She's definitely a great starter unit. Oh my god, humongous great starter unit. And yeah, great value for your kit too if you don't have a good ice DPS.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd say so. Let's do the question of like, should you pull, right? So to me. Like, for endgame players, I don't know if she's completely mandatory. Just because, like, yes, I do think she is probably definitively the best DPS for endgame. But if they ever patch skill canceling, she's not anymore. She's just good. She's just really good.
She's on a time limit. She's on a time limit right now.
Yeah, so she's like, just good. If that's, like, she's really good. Like, she's a top tier unit, but she's not, like, Luke top tier for like the ceiling of DPS. She's not Roy, you know?
Yeah.
She's just really good. And she has some really good support utility. She plays really well in Arena, which I really like. Yeah, which is good enough for me. So the main reason is to pull her for PvE. If you want her for Arena, cool. I pulled just because I wanted her for a specific Arena team I wanted to make, and I got super duper lucky on her step up. But if you are just looking for PvE stuff, like most people are, if you don't have an ice DPS, she's worth getting. If you don't have a ranged DPS in general, you don't have Roy, you don't have like V, there's not a lot of ranged physical DPS out there. But if you don't have one, it's really nice to have, especially in like Purple Gate, for instance. I mean, we can nuke Purple Gate pretty easy now if you have the right team and you can just burst it down. But like when Purple Gate's dragon starts doing some shit, if you're a ranged DPS, you don't care almost ever, and you can just nuke them down freely, like almost entirely. So like xBette, Roy, units like that just thrive completely, and if you don't have a ranged DPS, it kind of feels bad. So yeah, if you don't have a ranged DPS in general, I think she's also worth getting. Would I waste everything? No. If you're like me and you have no willpower and you're like, oh, I'm sitting on like 20k, like I have like 20k or I have like 12k, okay, cool, I'll spend it. If you're somebody sitting at like 90k plus waiting to pity the unit you want, don't waste all your shit here, because it's going to feel so bad and you're going to want to quit the game when you don't pull her. There's no pity for her, which is bullshit. I can't stand when they don't do pity on stuff. So speaking of that, let's go look at the stupid fucking shop while I bitch about it.
wait, you can't. I thought you could pity her. You get her on step 5.
Oh, okay. I'm saying it for
it's
people.
A hard pity, but
okay. Free to play pity. I'm talking about like you can't. If I'm talking people that saved up and have like 90k banked,
gotcha,
for like getting that thing that they want. You can pity Theria. You can pity both arcs. You cannot pity her. She's not in the shop for tokens. It's not a thing that's available. Let's just be aware. Right. Let's look at her paid though.
Okay.
I'll say right away, I think both of her paids are pretty good. Pretty good. I don't think they're mandatory, but they're good. Chance for special to deal critical. I don't care. Continuous Brave effect. That's nice. Yeah. I don't really want to cast her Grand Brave, so like getting a little effect there.
A little 20%.
Cool. Save 6 SC. And ice damage cap plus 1500. I think that her... I'm sure somebody can roast me. Somebody correct me the actual numbers. I think when you have all her stuff online, I think her base cap is like a little over 20,000, like maybe 22, 24 or something like that. So like there's a decent buff. It's not insane, but like it's pretty good while still being a machine. Like for me, the buffs she gets from machines and bows, I don't really want to run Scarlet, you know? So like this isn't too bad. And then it's also ice, so her autos get all of her ice boosts, which we saw are a ton, which is really good. So I think it's good, but the event has free ice pistols for you, which are totally serviceable. They give you an extra 4% crit rate.
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
And they're really solid. When I was doing some of my runs for videos, I literally used the 2 things that we got for free, the ice bow and the ice pistols, and they worked excellent. They're super good. All right, then the other one is an accessory. Plus 50 strength and 500 HP. I mean, really good. I mean, anytime you see like 500 plus for HP, like that's going to scale real nicely if you want to make somebody tanky. Real good. Plus fire resist. Nice. She can avoid Roy even harder than like her base fire resist, so that's good, considering he's got Slayer on her. And then resist to blind and stun. Like, there's a lot of good value. So like, it's good.
I would pick this over the weapon. It's the first time I'd ever do it, but I would do it.
I think I would pick this too, personally, but they're both really, really good. But if I had to pick one, I think I'd go with the accessory just because...
Really?
I feel like it's
14 at sea, man. That's expensive.
Yeah, I feel like it's just so often that we get weapons that end up being eventually like as good or better than paid gear. But this does look really, really good. Now, if this had something like the like 2B or like those where it says get like an extra 0.2, like basically gain like 20% or 50% on all your pursuit damage, if they put that on the weapon, I might be a little bit angry about it because that'd be so goddamn broken and good on her. Her auto attacks would even be more broken, and that would imply to me that they knew that it was too broken when they gave it to us.
Yeah.
And they just really want people to swipe. But yeah, as it stands, they're both really good. I won't argue with them. But neither are mandatory. She does totally fine, completely free to play. So yeah, I would not sweat it at all. All right, you ready to move on to the arc, or do you have anything else for Shift?
No, she's gonna be a definite benefit to a lot of accounts out there. So
yeah,
good luck to you guys for pulling her.
Totally, good shit. So all right, Santa Girls, nice. I don't know if they're basically saying, hey, this is the Christmas units for the next 3 years, but like, hey, maybe we're just gonna get a bunch of Santa girls for.
Hey, look at Eliza up there looking real fresh, man.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Let's do it. Let's go. All right, this is a pretty interesting arc, and I think it's pretty good overall. Stats pretty balanced across the board. Balanced / good, like over 200 and everything. 50 MP is real good. 3k HP super good. Like generally like 2 to 2.5k is kind of average for arcs. So like better ones are like 3 to 3.5. So like this is overall really balanced stats. It's really, really good. Battle start. Apply an ice damage plus 20% buff to allies for 60 seconds. Cool. You could make an ice specific team, which would be really sweet and could just be a lot of fun. Neat. Continuous vitality effect. I don't care. It basically just says you get an extra 1000 HP that doesn't scale with any of your other shit. It's fine. Just fine. Damage taken, physical damage taken cut for each buff you have, 3 per buff.
Yeah.
The main thing I care about is in Arena, this is kind of crazy, actually. So this,
Arena.
Yeah, so like, for to hit 30%, that's 10 buffs. That's not super hard to do. Especially with like her and like some of the other things. Like, think about all the units that come with like auto skills, or like you throw in like fast brave, things like that. Like, all those things count individually as a buff. Her herself, she gives 2 buffs. So like, her by herself being in your party gives somebody else, if you decided to, minus 6%. They probably have 2 or 3 auto skills on them, getting up to 15%. Like, when you have that stuff stack, and then you have protection, and maybe you have spear boost or something,
right,
like, you can get some pretty insane damage reduction. So like, I kind of still want this. Like, I got xBette. I did not get the arc. I kind of want the arc though. This looks really fun. Like, I kind of want to make an ice-only team and then, like, run this with pirate ship for nuking people, but then have a ton of damage reduction, too. Like, run her, Gorm, maybe, like, see if I can, like, troll people and make Celios, like, slap people around. That'd be really funny. Like, how funny would that be if, like, I could just build Celios, just min-max him to just fuck people up? That'd be so funny. I probably couldn't do it, but it would be hilarious. All right. Ether reward. Yule present.
Oh, this is awesome, man.
This looked good, and then it didn't to me.
So it didn't?
We have some okay stats across the board. Continuous vitality. Again, this doesn't stack with the arc, so like that's just an extra 1000 HP if you happen to have it. Battle start. Apply strength, defense, int, mind, plus 40%. Or.
Oh.
If this didn't say or, I would care, and I'd be like, hey, this is kind of neat.
I didn't see the or.
I might maybe use this, but because it says or, I'm literally not going to run it. I literally will not run this ever. And
I'll start both strength.
Yeah.
I mean, ouch.
If I'm on a new account, it's a hell of a stat stick. It's super good on a new account.
Yeah.
At endgame, with this saying or, I literally could give a fuck less. This is not worth an accessory slot to me. It's just not.
Damn, or.
Dude, I hate anything that is a chance to give you a thing, because it means you can't build for the other stuff. Like, it could just say mind plus 40%. Int plus 40%.
It's so funny
like,
what your eyes want to see.
Yeah, like, I'd rather have it give me 1 buff, guaranteed, than a chance at any of the things. Because, like... Dude, I hate when they do that shit. RNG is not what we want. Like, this is a game about theory crafting and, like, building things to be, like, all working together in, like, perfect synchronization to make the most out of it. And, like, this is the epitome of that. So, like, this is clearly a new player accessory. It's really good for new players. If I rolled this on my alt account or something, I'd probably unlock it sooner rather than later and throw it on somebody for, like, an early game boost. And then grow out a bit eventually. But, yeah, a little sad overall. But yeah, the arc looks interesting. I definitely want it.
That's so funny. I didn't even catch the or, bro. I seriously thought when I first saw it was SCR defense, INT, and mine plus 40% buff. I was like, holy shit, it's huge.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a light, like, Sheeta effect you can throw on somebody. Like, it doesn't have, like, some of the, reduction to some things, but, like, you get the big, grand stat buffs, pretty much. And
like Kyle's armor, you get 25% all the way around for dying. I was like, ooh, I don't have to die.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so a lot of basic bitch stuff, so we're just going to talk about the new stuff. On the Ark, Christmas Carol, battle start, apply damage taken minus 10% to the unit for 100 seconds. Effect is kept by 1% every 10 seconds. I mean, for 5, that's actually, like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like, unconditional, this is not bad. Like, I actually like the skill quite a bit, and, like, 100 seconds, that is a long buff, especially in, like, Arena.
All I need.
But also in PvE, like, there's a lot of fights where, like, oh, maybe the 40-second window doesn't work too great. But, you know, this is more than 2 of those 40-second windows. Like, that's a good duration on that, you know? I mean, it does wear off over time, but still, like, that's pretty solid. Mainly for Arena, it's super duper solid. Now, I obviously don't have it, so I haven't tested it. I don't know if this is the protection buff, but assuming, like, because there's, like, a specific, like, fall off to it, this feels like it's a unique buff. Like, this should stack with everything because, like, it degrades over time. It might not be. I've seen other buffs that have, like, that varied ability happen and still be the default buff, which would be really, really unfortunate, but yeah. I just assume that it's unique, and I hope that it is. If not, it's kind of sad and actually really, really garbage. Like, it's kind of impressively bad if it's the basic protection buff.
Right. No, I guess if you can test it out, you'll get to see what the picture looks like whenever you do get it.
Yeah, exactly. So, ice armor. We saw earth armor recently. Yeah, I'm pretty on point. The niche case when you just want it to just, like, I assume this reduces your fire damage. Yeah, great. So it's just like auto minus 20% to fire damage. Legit. Seems good. If you really want it to be extra tanky, cool, you can do that. And, like, this will happen between respawns too. So, like, if you're just building super hard to fight against Roy, put this on a unit.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
You can do that. Like, it starts getting expensive, but, like, you can do this, and then you can throw on, like, the fast high protection from the Vuskov arc and flaming from that last event and do all sorts of fun stuff. And then, like, any other damage reduction, you got some spear high boost. Like, all that stuff adds up to just make Roy really sad. But anyway, Ice Mega Boost. We don't see Mega Boost very often. The last time we saw it was on a UR, Lily Matter. So seeing it even on an LR is pretty nice.
Yeah, we have Dark, Light, and now we have Ice. So it's coming along.
Now, it's niche, but I think that's fine. Like, it's only for Magic and only for Ice, just like the new staff we got conveniently. But, like, hey, if we ever get a ReZero rerun and they buff Amelia, some people are going to be really happy, right?
I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, boy. But yeah, it's pretty good. And it's, as far as rate goes, it's basically like the high drives for physical, where, like, you get a plus 30% to your damage, but then you also get a damage cap increase. So, like, for 11, really good value. I think it's super solid. Very worth if you're specializing in ice damage. Cool. Let's see. A
lot of value to that. And this is a good LR. It's got a lot of value in it.
Yeah, it's good. It's not chaseable. Like, you don't chase it like you chase, you know, FFA. You know.
I originally thought that was physical damage to that boost, and then I saw it was magic, and I was like, oh, because if it was physical damage, I'd probably chase it 100%. But since it's a magic damage cap and it's only 2k, it's like,
it would need to be.
If you have it, that's cool. If you don't, you're all right.
Yeah, instead of Ice Mega Boost, it would need to be Ice Attack Raise 3. Exactly. In which case, I assume if they ever put Attack Raise 3 on an arc, it's probably going to cost like 18.
Oh my god.
Dude, right now, if you want Attack Raise 2, it costs 15.
I know. Yeah, that's crazy. Remember we did talk about how we would want them to lower this stuff so that people could have better builds. And
well, I mean, so here's the thing, though. I know it's not super optimal, but I think that they're pretty well priced for where they are, actually, because they affect literally everything. You know, so like if you're going to build a hybrid unit, that's the only time you use it. So basically, they're expensive, but they're niche. So like if you're building for that niche, they're actually really SC efficient. If you're only building for physical damage, they're fucking awful. Like really, really god awful. Just stay away from attack raises. But if you're building a hybrid build, they're way better than if you tried to get all that effect from getting multiple other skills.
Right.
So yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that we necessarily had to talk about here?
No, I mean, shit.
I mean, we've gone super long.
We started late. We started late. There was a little technical difficulties, but I mean, we talked about a lot, man. We really did. We actually got real into depth to like almost everything. Especially, it's really good when one of us pull the unit so we can talk about it. Unlike me, wasn't able to. I didn't say I didn't try, but I wasn't able to. Luck wasn't on my side this time, but. It's just she looks good, man. She looks good. Not chaseable. I knew that right away.
Yep.
Little bait maybe.
Oh, she's totally bait.
Yeah.
And like we're helping.
But if you guys pull her, man, you guys are gonna have an absolute blast with her, like for real.
Yeah, she's super fun. She definitely takes a little bit of effort. She's not hyper easy mode like Swimsuit Alice. Like she's not, and I've seen that comparison a lot. But like if you build her though, she's gonna be really good. And she's so happy.
There is one thing that I actually really did appreciate that they did do, and they should do it more, and I hope they do, is that they threw both units and arcs in the free ticket gacha that you guys are able to spend your 10 pulls on or your single pulls. Like, that was awesome. And probability is still pretty low, but the fact that we don't have two separate banners to spend separate tickets on is definitely a good thing, because it's a chance to get either one.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely still sucks. It still sucks that we don't get, like, rate-ups on them.
It's a small push in the right direction.
Yeah. It's pretty decent. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Right.
It's not great. Odds are pretty high you're not going to get any of the new stuff, but like maybe you will. Right. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Like you, step one.
Well, yeah, I'm talking off these tickets. Like the other things,
True.
Like that's like the third or fourth time that the paid step up has gotten me something on the first step. Like that very first summon. So like, I don't know. It feels like that's a little bit weighted. I bet it's not, but I got one of my copies of Dante. I got Mary.
You've been doing really good, man.
I got her.
Like lately.
Yeah, I think Lance came off step 3 of that. But yeah, I mean the real answer is just like just swipe. That's the answer, right? That's the answer to the game. Oh man.
Oh, you dolphin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that seems like we covered everything.
Yeah, good shit.
Hopefully, New Year's is around the corner, guys. So. Yeah, get ready for what is it? The guaranteed unit step up at the 3 pulls.
I mean, the unit step up. You're talking DOH selector or what?
Yeah. Like what is it called?
But that's DOH. Not confirmed, right? That's not confirmed.
No,
that's speculation.
But they did it last year in speculation.
Well, I don't think they did it for New Year's though. They did it earlier this year.
No, they did it for New Year's last year.
Did they? I thought the first time we had it was after the Annie early in the year. I thought that's when we got the DOH selector.
I remember because I wanted Devon and I kept pulling other crap. I went for Ziggs and Devon. Yeah, I think it was New Year's if I'm not mistaken, because it was during the New Year's UR. Yeah, with the new area.
It sounds like you're talking about the UR banner pull. The $100
where it's a
banner.
No. It was like you spend 3K and you get a guaranteed unit.
You said spend
3K and you get a guaranteed 3K and you get a guaranteed unit. It's any unit. It could be DOH or general pool.
Oh, okay.
You not remember those?
Oh yeah. Who cares about that? That's shit. That's so garbage.
But I'm just saying, like that's what's coming up probably.
Yeah. What I'm hoping for is that we get another installment of the DOH selection unit where you can spend 30K and pick from.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like everybody used 30K to get Theria, which was like the highest value ever.
They did that these days, mid.
You could probably go in like depending on where they have the cutoff point, because we missed in that selector we didn't have the latest like 2, 3, maybe 4 units. But like right now, like maybe there will be Maja, maybe he won't be in there, but like Lug definitely would be in there, I think.
That'd be awesome at 30K.
So like you could pity Lug if you felt like it for 30K. You could get Theria if your account needs Theria still, which I think majority of people would still go for. But again, it's all speculation. I hope that we get it. If not, we'll get it at some point. But yeah, I'm sure New Year's, I'm sure there will be lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, can you get other views?
All right, well, let's go ahead and cut it off. I keep rambling, and I'm just going to keep drinking, I'm sure. So we're going to go ahead and cut this off. So thanks, everybody. for coming to hang out. Thanks, DK, for being here. Jawline,
absolutely, man.
Make it, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're having lots of fun. Anybody out there, good luck with your polls if you happen to get them. Have a Merry Christmas, and yeah, have a good
I'll talk
one.
to you guys. Wait, next week? Is there another
next week
podcast?
Christmas. I don't know. It is Christmas. I guess it depends if anything major happens in the game.
Yeah.
I would say it's 50-50. It's quite plausible we pass next week.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I won't be in town, so it won't be. I'll be absent. So yeah, I'll probably have to pass for next week then. Okay. So we will see you guys on New Year's then.
Or it'll be a better podcast. One of the two. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's going on.
God damn.
Got him.
Shit. All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Stupid shit. All right. Cool.
Later, guys.
Yeah. Oh, somebody just put Santa Eliza in the chat. Could you imagine if next week they just surprise the fuck out of us, dropping us another new Christmas waifu? That would be ridiculous.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh man.
I love my Discord, man. Look at these guys. They're so nice.
Bunch of trolls.
For real.
Cool. All right. Have a good one,
everybody.
Enjoy your Christmas if I don't talk to you.
Thank you guys for dropping by.
Yep.
Peace.